Zhao Dong, you were so tired you fell asleep. How are you feeling? Lin Tian asked with a smile. Zhao Dong looked at Lin Tian. I don't feel tired anymore. Brother Lin Tian, how's my illness? Can it be cured? Hee, your illness is already cured. Really? Zhao Dong's expression was excited. He was, after all, just a child of about 10 years old. Lin Tian nodded. You're cured. Go eat quickly, I can already smell the delicious food in your cafeteria. Thank you, Brother Lin Tian. Dean, Teacher Luo, I'm going to eat. Zhao Dong happily ran away. Hu Guofang asked excitedly, Xiao Lin, has Zhao Dong really recovered? Lin Tian smiled and said, as long as he doesn't experience any further stimulation within 6 months, his second personality will completely disappear. That's good, that's good. Xiao Lin, I don't know how to thank you enough. You came all this way, and Zhao Dong and Shu Hu have both recovered, and Zhang Long will recover too. Hu Guofang said gratefully. Lin Tian smiled and said, if Bingning bullies me in the future, just scold her for me. Hu Guofang smiled gently, that won't do. You're both kind-hearted. I believe you'll definitely achieve a happy ending. Would you like to eat something casually in our cafeteria, or go out for a romantic getaway? Luo Bingning said, Director, we won't bother you any longer. We'll eat out, and we'll come back to visit the children next week. Luo Bingning now had many questions she wanted to ask Lin Tian privately. Okay, Hu Guofang nodded. Soon, Lin Tian and the others drove away from the orphanage. In the passenger seat, Luo Bingning kept staring at Lin Tian. Bingning, what are you looking at? We still have decades to go. You'll see, Lin Tian said with a smile. Luo Bingning blushed slightly. A thought flashed through her mind. Perhaps spending decades with Lin Tian wasn't impossible. Lin Tian, you don't just know a little bit of ancient medicine, do you? Luo Bingning asked. Could it be that you're very skilled in ancient medicine, and you've concocted special tonics for yourself, making your body much stronger than the average person? Lin Tian's heart skipped a beat. Luo Bingning's imagination was quite something. In ancient times, medicine and martial arts were inseparable. His strong ancient medical skills would naturally lead to him knowing martial arts later on. Since medicine could make him stronger, it would also make him smarter, which would explain his proficiency on the Erhu. Lin Tian laughed. Bingning, did you only notice my physical strength and not realize my intelligence is far superior to yours? Luo Bingning, you're shameless, I can see that. As she said this, Luo Bingning thought of something. Lin Tian's driving skills were good, which might be related to his intelligence. Of course, his physical abilities were probably more important. Lin Tian might be quick-witted and have a reaction speed much faster than the average person. So you admit that your ancient medical skills are very strong? Luo Bingning asked. Lin Tian chuckled. If I said I only learned a little bit of ancient medical skills, you probably wouldn't believe me, would you? Of course, many famous doctors, including Shu Hu, couldn't solve these problems, but you only spent half an hour with both Shu Hu and Zhao Dong. Luo Bingning was convinced that Lin Tian's ancient medical skills were indeed very strong. Lin Tian smiled and remained silent. Luo Bingning continued, Lin Tian, what's wrong with me? Lin Tian replied, when I took your pulse before, I only determined that there was a problem with your dantian, but I don't know the specifics yet. But your problem is definitely more complicated than Shu Hu's and the others. Luo Bingning turned her head to look out the window. Then when we get back, could you check my stomach? The dantian is in the stomach, right? Luo Bingning's ears turned slightly red as she spoke. Let's find a place to eat first. Lin Tiandao said, I know a restaurant nearby that's pretty good. Turn right at the next intersection. Luo Bingning gave directions, and Lin Tian and the others arrived shortly after. The restaurant was antique in style and tastefully decorated. In a prominent place inside the restaurant, Lin Tian noticed a guqin, a 7-string zither, indicating that the restaurant likely had a professional guqin player. Let's sit here. Someone will be playing the guqin later. It'll sound beautiful. Luo Bingning said. Okay. Lin Tian nodded. Their table was in a good spot. The previous guests had just left, otherwise they wouldn't have gotten such a seat. Lin Tian, it's my treat today. You saved Shu Hu and the others. Thank you so much. Luo Bingning said with a sweet smile, picking up her phone to scan a QR code to order. I promise to pay for your living expenses. Lin Tian said. Luo Bingning whispered, this place isn't cheap, and you won't accept that million. Save some money for your parents when you go home for the new year. You're coming home with me for the new year? Dream on. Luo Bingning quickly ordered the food. A few people nearby glared angrily at Lin Tian and his companions. Lin Tian remained calm. Ever since leaving the orphanage, he had noticed someone following them. They arrived at this shop, and the person following them entered as well. Ding! Before the food arrived, melodious music filled the air. The musician was a woman in her 30s, and she played quite well. Of course, her skill was far from master level, let alone Lin Tian's top-tier grandmaster level. Chinese guqin and piano have clear classifications. Generally, they are divided into 3 levels: amateur, professional, and performance. Amateur and professional levels each have 10 levels. Performance level, from lowest to highest, is divided into 3rd-level performer, 2nd-level performer, 1st-level performer, master, and grandmaster. With Lin Tian's skill level, he could easily judge that the woman playing was around professional level 6, which was already quite impressive. When the piece ended, Luo Bingning clapped softly. Many other people in the store also applauded. Bingning, you really like music. Lin Tian smiled. Luo Bingning nodded. Yes, but my dad doesn't want me to pursue a career in entertainment, so I've only learned a little bit. At that moment, someone walked towards the performance area. Ladies and gentlemen, a guest would like to play a piece. Let's give him a round of applause. The woman who had just played stood up. This shop occasionally had customers play music there, and those who dared to play in public were generally quite skilled. Luo Bingning frowned slightly. Lin Tian said, Bingning, who is he? A car followed us after we left the orphanage. He came in after us. Luo Bingning frowned and said, his name is He Yuhao, a classmate of mine from university. He pursued you? Lin Tian looked at He Yuhao. The guy was quite handsome. Just then, He Yuhao also looked in their direction. I'll play a piece called Phoenix Seeking Its Mate. For a young lady, He Yuhao said with a smile. Many people looked at Lin Tian and his group. They could easily tell that He Yuhao's piece was definitely for Luo Bingning. Luo Bingning's beauty was undeniable. Even if He Yuhao wasn't looking at them, if he said it was for a young lady present, some people would probably know it was for Luo Bingning. Lin Tian, there's nothing between him and me. That guy is an arrogance. I don't like him. Luo Bingning whispered. Lin Tian, how about we go somewhere else to eat? Luo Bingning suggested. Just then, a waiter pushed a cart over. With their food, no need. The food's already on the table. It's not good to waste food. Lin Tian smiled slightly. If He Yuhao played the piano or something, he might be able to show off in front of him, but showing off on the guqin? What a joke. He was a guqin master. According to old Wu, there was a guqin master in China. But even if that master were here, Lin Tian was confident he could win. He was a peak master. Ding! He Yuhao quickly plucked the strings, and the music rang out. The woman beside him's eyes lit up. He Yuhao's skill was quite good. He does have some skill, Lin Tian muttered to himself. He had judged He Yuhao's guqin skill level to be around professional level 7 after listening for only a short time. That was even better than the woman who had just played. Lin Tian, although you're not good at music, you're far better than He Yuhao in running, swimming, and medicine. Try this, it's quite delicious. Luo Bingning said, putting some food on Lin Tian's plate. Handsome, and plays the guqin very well, it's a pity the girl likes someone else. These days, money still reigns supreme. Who says otherwise? Someone at another table whispered. Seeing Luo Bingning put food on Lin Tian's plate, they immediately concluded that Luo Bingning chose Lin Tian because his family is richer. Bingning, this tastes really good, but if you fed me directly, it would taste even better. Lin Tian said with a smile. Luo Bingning gave Lin Tian a coquettish glare. All you ever think about is wishful thinking. I'm already being kind enough to put some food on your plate. The two stopped looking at He Yuhao and continued eating and chatting, a situation that made He Yuhao's performance a little off. The piece ended, and many people applauded. He Yuhao stood up and walked towards Lin Tian and the others. Bingning, I didn't expect to run into you here. What a coincidence, He Yuhao said to Luo Bingning. He seemed not to see Lin Tian at all, treating him as if he didn't exist. Luo Bingning frowned. He Yuhao, first of all, I have a boyfriend. Secondly, do you think it's appropriate for you to follow me here? If it happens again, I'll call the police. He Yuhao's expression turned somewhat ugly. Luo Bingning's words left him no room for embarrassment. Bingning, we're classmates. We both like music. That's why we have common ground. Online dating is unreliable. What is there about him that you like? He Yuhao took a deep breath and asked. He knew Li Feng, and it was Li Feng who told him that Luo Bingning had a boyfriend. He had rushed over from the capital. A few people at the surrounding tables showed surprise. Online dating? Lin Tian said slowly, hey, don't look down on me like that. I do have some strengths. PFF'd. Someone at the next table, who was drinking tea, spat it out upon hearing Lin Tian's words. Sorry, I was just thinking about something funny. The person quickly apologized to their friend. The friend's expression was also a little strange. Could it be that strength? Bingning, don't be fooled by him. He's completely useless. He's only getting close to you to cheat you out of your feelings and your family's money. He Yuhao said angrily. Lin Tian frowned. Hey, that's going too far. It was Bingning who initiated our relationship. Luo Bingning rolled her eyes at Lin Tian. He Yuhao. He felt a pang of hurt. He had pursued Luo Bingning for a long time in university, to no avail. And now Luo Bingning was with Lin Tian, and it was Luo Bingning who initiated it. Bingning, what common ground do you two have? You're a top student from Peking University. He's from a second-rate university. You're proficient in singing, dancing, and musical instruments. He probably doesn't even know how many keys are on a piano. He Yuhao said in a deep voice. Bingning, let me play a piece for you too. Lin Tian got up and walked towards the performance area. He Yuhao had learned the guqin himself. It was a skill given by the system. He hadn't originally wanted to embarrass He Yuhao. He felt a little embarrassed. But He Yuhao had repeatedly looked down on him. This was unbearable. His awakening of the system was a stroke of luck, a testament to his strength. Lin Tian, you? Luo Bingning was dumbfounded. Lin Tian playing the guqin? According to the information she had, Lin Tian seemed to have never played the guqin before. Such an instrument required considerable practice. Hello, may I play a piece? Lin Tian inquired. The woman who had played before quickly replied, Sir, of course you may. However, if your playing is poor and disturbs the other guests, I may ask you to finish early. Randomly playing for everyone was definitely not an option. If his fellow musicians caused such disruption, wouldn't all the customers leave? Sure, Lin Tian nodded and sat down. The familiar guqin music rang out once more. Lin Tian was also playing Phoenix Seeking Its Mate. Many people showed surprise in their eyes. Comparing the two, they clearly felt that Lin Tian was superior. Lin Tian didn't display performance-level skill, but he demonstrated a professional level 10, significantly better than professional level 7. While the difference between professional levels 7 and 8 might not be obvious, the difference between professional level 7 and professional level 10 is noticeable to the average person. Amazing. The woman next to Lin Tian looked surprised. She had worked incredibly hard to reach professional level 6. She was already quite surprised that He Yuhao was better than her. He Yuhao was about 10 years younger and naturally had less time to practice. Lin Tian was also better than her, and by a great deal. How is this possible? He Yuhao couldn't believe it. He was professional level 7, and had received guidance from a renowned teacher. He could tell Lin Tian had reached professional level 10. Beyond that was performance level. Performance level requirements in China are very strict. Anyone at that level is exceptionally skilled. He Yuhao couldn't believe it, and neither could Luo Bingning. She stared blankly at Lin Tian. Lin Tian had given her a powerful shock. She had thought Lin Tian had little talent for music, but she hadn't expected him to be even more skilled at the guqin than He Yuhao. The piece ended quickly. Clap clap. A burst of enthusiastic applause erupted in the shop. The applause was much louder than when He Yuhao had played. Thank you everyone. Lin Tian stood up, took the microphone, and smiled. Soon, Lin Tian returned to Luo Bingning's side. He Yuhao was gone. He had already slunk away before the applause even began. Lin Tian, why didn't you tell me you were so skilled at playing the guqin? Luo Bingning whispered. Her beautiful eyes sparkled with surprise as she looked at Lin Tian. You didn't ask either. Besides, showing it now would be a pleasant surprise, wouldn't it? Lin Tian smiled and said, Bingning, what are my chances now? Luo Bingning's pretty face visibly flushed. Yesterday, it was only 2 or 3 out of 10. But this morning, Lin Tian demonstrated his ancient medical skills and even treated Shu Hu and the others, and now he's shown off his amazing Guqin playing. If I didn't tell you, you'd be far from it. Luo Bingning huffed. Looking at Lin Tian, Luo Bingning suddenly thought of Master Lin, the masked hero. Master Lin's surname is Lin, and Lin Tian's surname is also Lin. Could Lin Tian be the masked hero? The thought popped into Luo Bingning's mind, but she quickly dismissed it. How could that be? Lin Tian plays the Guqin, but he's so young, how could he possibly be a master at the Guqin? Besides, Master Lin is also a master at the Erhu. Lin Tian, do you know Master Lin, the masked hero? Luo Bingning asked. Lin Tian smiled. Yes, I know him. I also like watching short videos. He already has 15 million followers. Lin Tian didn't say he didn't know him. He demonstrated quite good Guqin skills. Master Lin's fame is considerable now. It would be a lie to say he didn't know him. Master Lin has 16 million followers. He must know martial arts. Yanzi is a huge fan of Master Lin. Luo Bingning smiled. Lin Tian looked at Luo Bingning seriously. Bingning, I'm not pretending anymore. I'm coming clean. I'm actually Master Lin. How about we hurry up and get married and have a baby? Having a baby is secondary. The important thing is the work beforehand. Luo Bingning. She said irritably. Yanzi said Master Lin must be a martial arts master. Internal energy requires a lot of time to cultivate and accumulate. Master Lin should be close to 40 years old. Couldn't an old man have passed on his internal energy to me for decades? Lin Tian said with a smile. Go to sleep early tonight. You can dream about anything. Luo Bingning giggled. The more Lin Tian said this, the less she believed he was Master Lin. Lin Tian plays the Guqin, and his surname is Lin. He's Master Lin? That's too absurd. Bingning, how was my performance of Phoenix Seeking Its Mate just now? Lin Tian asked with a smile. Luo Bingning recalled Lin Tian's performance of the Guqin. It was not bad, much better than He Yuhao's. He was quite angry with you. He didn't even finish his meal before paying the bill and leaving, but he probably won't give up so easily. Luo Bingning frowned slightly at this. For many girls, having a suitor like He Yuhao would be a pleasant surprise. But Luo Bingning found it quite annoying. Since middle school, she'd had all sorts of suitors. The allure of the Luo family's billions in assets was too strong. Don't worry, I can take on 8 of him, Lin Tian said with a chuckle. Damn it, He Yuhao left the restaurant, his face grim. His Guqin skill was already quite impressive at level 7, but he hadn't expected to run into Lin Tian, a formidable opponent. Beep beep. Back in his car, He Yuhao dialed Li Feng's number. Both were from wealthy families and knew each other long ago due to business dealings, but they were still quite different. Li Feng bought his way into university but was a terrible student, while He Yuhao got into Peking University and had considerable musical talent. Of course, Li Feng wasn't without his advantages compared to He Yuhao. The Li family had assets of 300 to 500 million yuan, while the He family only had 100 or 200 million. Compared to the Luo family, it was just a drop in the ocean. But in the eyes of ordinary people, both the Li and He families were billionaires. Li Feng, how did you investigate? You said Lin Tian was ordinary, but damn it, Lin Tian's Guqin skills are higher than mine. He's probably already at a professional level 10, He Yuhao said angrily. On the other end of the phone, Li Feng paused, stunned. His Guqin skills are that high? That's impossible, he hasn't played the Guqin much. Are you mistaken? He Yuhao said, his face dark. I played Phoenix Seeking Its Mate for Luo Bingning, and he played the same piece, and he played it better than me. He humiliated me so badly, how could I be mistaken? Li Feng couldn't believe it, but the information I received shows that Lin Tian doesn't seem to have any musical talent. I had a private investigator check. He Yuhao gritted his teeth. The private investigator you hired is terrible. Couldn't you have spent more money on something like this? He Yuhao was furious at being humiliated in public. Li Feng's face darkened. He Yuhao, I only told you because I didn't want Bingning to be deceived by Lin Tian. Don't be ungrateful, we're competitors, after all. Do I owe you anything? He Yuhao was speechless. Sorry, I was really upset with him just now. Let's find a place to have a drink tonight and talk this out. He Yuhao took a deep breath and said, okay, shall we invite Guo Liang along? Guo Liang? Sure. He Yuhao knew Guo Liang. He had invested 10 million in Luo Bingning's company, acquiring a 10% stake. He had even secured a position within the company. He Yuhao wasn't really worried about Guo Liang. He knew Luo Bingning would never have a boyfriend in the company. Business is business, and feelings are feelings. Having a boyfriend find someone in your own company would have a bad influence. If Luo Bingning set an example, there might be couples everywhere in the company. Office romances easily affect work. Is he Yuhao still coming along? After dinner, Lin Tian and the others drove away, and Luo Bingning asked. No, Lin Tian shook his head. Bingning, shall we go to the amusement park? Luo Bingning's eyes lit up. Sure. Although her family was extremely wealthy, Luo Bingning didn't go to amusement parks often. Her parents were both quite busy. Half an hour later, Lin Tian and the others arrived at a large amusement park, equipped with roller coasters, drop towers, and the like. Are you scared? Soon, Lin Tian and the others boarded the roller coaster. I'm not scared at all. Luo Bingning was full of confidence. In reality, she had never ridden a roller coaster before. When her parents took her to amusement parks before, she never rode such rides. Her parents were very wealthy, and Luo Bingning was the only child in 3 generations of the Luo family. They couldn't afford any accidents. Creak, creak, the roller coaster slowly reached the top. Luo Bingning's face paled slightly. Lin Tian reached out his hand, and Luo Bingning quickly grabbed it. Ah, the roller coaster plunged downwards, and Luo Bingning screamed. She gripped Lin Tian's hand tightly, while Lin Tian remained calm. Roller coasters in China typically travel at around 100 kilometers per hour. Lin Tian, with his martial grandmaster level cultivation, could reach speeds of 80 kilometers per hour, not much slower than the roller coaster. Lin Tian, aren't you scared? After getting off the roller coaster, Luo Bingning's legs were weak. I'm alright. Lin Tian was slightly disappointed. Riding the roller coaster had caused Luo Bingning considerable emotional fluctuation, yet no treasure chests appeared. Perhaps ordinary emotional fluctuations wouldn't suffice. Want to ride those other rides? Lin Tian smiled. I've never ridden any rides before. Pirate ship, drop tower, giant swing. Lin Tian accompanied Luo Bingning on many thrilling rides. Naturally, he also held Luo Bingning's hand quite a few times. Unfortunately, no treasure chests appeared afterward. Perhaps the emotional stimulation wasn't enough, or perhaps they had already obtained a treasure chest today and there wouldn't be another one. Hello, Brother Guo, we chatted in the group chat, finally meeting in person. In the evening, Lin Tian and the others left the amusement park. He Yuhao, Li Feng, and Guo Liang met at a restaurant. Hey, what brings you here? Guo Liang inquired. There was a hint of hostility in his tone. He knew He Yuhao was Luo Bingning's classmate and a strong competitor. Li Feng coughed lightly. Brother Guo, there's something you might not know. Luo Bingning already has a boyfriend named Lin Tian. Guo Liang frowned. How could he not know? Lin Tiandu has already visited Luo Bingning's company. I saw Lin Tian. He went to Bingning's company. He looks so ordinary, how could Bingning choose him? Damn, Guo Liang gritted his teeth, while Li Feng and He Yuhao felt much better. They weren't the only ones hurt. Some of the pain seemed to have been transferred to them. Let's order first, Li Feng said, and the 3 quickly ordered. Brother Guo, we're competitors, but now that Lin Tian is Luo Bingning's boyfriend, we need to be on the same page and get rid of him first. Li Feng said in a deep voice. Guo Liang nodded. Young Master Li, young Master He, you've both suffered setbacks. Share your experiences so we can discuss a plan. Li Feng said with a gloomy face. They're living together. They went to the movies together a while ago, and I went with them. I wanted to have someone threaten Lin Tian to get rid of him, but Luo Bingning found out. She said if we continued like this, she would bankrupt the Li family. Guo Liang's expression changed. They're living together? He Yuhao said, given the size of the Luo family, if Luo Bingning really targets your Li family, you'll have a tough time. The Li family's assets are 300 to 500 million, while the Luo families are tens of billions. That's 2 orders of magnitude difference. Even a simple statement from the Luo family would have a significant impact on the Li family. That's right, they're living together. I even tried to pay Lin Tian to get rid of me. I offered him $1 million, but he didn't agree. Li Feng said in a deep voice. Guo Liang frowned. He hadn't known before that Luo Bingning and Lin Tian were living together, which made him feel uneasy. Of course, if he could win over Luo Bingning, he would definitely continue pursuing her. Even if Lin Tian and Luo Bingning had already had a relationship, compared to the Luo family's tens of billions of assets, these were minor issues. What about you, young master He? Guo Liang looked at He Yuhao. He Yuhao frowned and said, "Today I went to a restaurant with Lin Tian and the others. They had a guqin, a 7-string zither, and I played Phoenix Seeking Its Mate. Lin Tian played the same piece, but he's a bit better than me." Guo Liang was taken aback. He knew He Yuhao was a talented student from Peking University, with high musical ability, yet Lin Tian had completely outmaneuvered him. Li Feng frowned. The private investigator I hired clearly found out that Lin Tian's parents are just ordinary farmers. Logically, he couldn't afford to study music. Studying music is quite expensive. Especially at an advanced level, even a single lesson can cost a fortune. Wait, doesn't Lin Tian drive a BMW X5? To be able to afford a car like that, his family must be quite well off, right? Guo Liang asked doubtfully. Li Feng shook his head. His family definitely can't afford it. His dad's a carpenter, earning a little over 200 yuan a day in the countryside. This kind of work isn't frequent. Adding the income from farming, their family's maximum income is 30,000 yuan a year. His car was probably bought for him by Luo Bingning. Guo Liang and He Yuhao felt a pang of heartache. One of them had spent a lot of time pursuing Luo Bingning in college. The other had pursued her all the way to the company. All their hard work had been in vain. They wanted to spend money on Luo Bingning, but she wouldn't accept. Luo Bingning actually bought Lin Tian a car worth hundreds of thousands. Damn it, Guo Liang cursed. We have to find a way to get him. Even if we can't win over Luo Bingning, we can't let Lin Tian get away with it. Li Feng and He Yuhao nodded. Li Feng said, "We can only use legitimate means. If we resort to underhanded tactics, Luo Bingning might not be so lenient with us. Their families are quite wealthy. If they act recklessly and are targeted by the Luo family, leading to bankruptcy, they'd feel like dying." Young Master He, you're a brilliant, shrewd man. What do you think? How can we openly target Lin Tian? Ideally, we should make them break up, so Luo Bingning will at least owe us a favor. Guo Liang looked at He Yuhao and asked. He Yuhao thought for a moment and said, "We need to dig up dirt on Lin Tian, or find evidence that he deliberately approached Luo Bingning." Li Feng sighed. He deliberately got close, isn't that obvious? It's a pity that Luo Bingning, a talented woman, is so love-struck. I wonder what method Lin Tian used to bewitch Luo Bingning. Guo Liang thought for a moment and said, "I forgot to mention one more piece of information. You know Tianmu Group, right? It's an enterprise controlled by the Chao family." Li Feng and He Yuhao nodded. Ordinary people wouldn't pay attention to this kind of thing, but their families are quite wealthy, so they definitely need to be more aware of this information. Chao Ziming of Tianmu Group also has designs on Luo Bingning. Li Feng and He Yuhao frowned secretly. Another competitor. However, one more Chao Ziming wouldn't be a big problem. Among those pursuing Luo Bingning, there were more than a few people more powerful than Chao Ziming. Some even had family assets greater than the Luo family. Some were unaware of the situation, while others, confident in their status, wouldn't act rashly. In their eyes, Lin Tian was nothing. The Luo family would never agree to Lin Tian and Luo Bingning's marriage. Intervening to stop Luo Bingning from pursuing true love now might incur her dislike, lowering their chances of success. As long as they ultimately succeeded and gained access to the Luo family's billions in assets, they didn't care whether Luo Bingning had slept with Lin Tian or not. "Brother Guo, you want to bring him along?" "I don't think so. The Chao family has billions in assets. They're not on our level. His chances of success with us will be much lower. Without him, we can discuss things together. With him, we'll just have to listen to him." Li Feng shook his head, and He Yuhao also shook his head in refusal. "What you said makes sense. Let's do as He Yuhao says. Let's try to find some dirt on Lin Tian first. Shall we hire a top-notch private investigator?" Guo Liang asked. He Yuhao and Li Feng nodded. They quickly agreed. They would each contribute 100,000 yuan, spending 300,000 yuan to hire a skilled private investigator. If the investigator found important information, they could add more money. "Li Feng, this time you should hire someone reliable. Also, we need to make it clear to them that they can only investigate within the scope of laws and regulations. Otherwise we might run into trouble." He Yuhao instructed Li Feng. Li Feng had done this kind of thing more often and was more experienced than them. I know a pretty top-notch private investigator. Whether she finds anything or not, her starting fee is 100,000. As long as Lin Tian has any dirt on him, she'll definitely be able to dig it up. Li Feng said confidently. Are you going to contact her now? Guo Liang asked. Li Feng dialed the number, and it wasn't answered until half a minute later. Li Feng, don't bother me with your trivial matters. Ahem, Sister Yao Hong, this is a big deal. 300,000. You need to investigate someone for me. I need concrete dirt on them. If the dirt is valuable, we can pay more. Li Feng quickly said. Yao Hong's eyes lit up on the other end of the phone. That's interesting. Transfer the 300,000 to me, and I'll do my best to investigate for half a month. If I don't find anything in half a month, the 300,000 won't be refunded. Li Feng quickly transferred the money to Yao Hong. Guo Liang laughed. I've heard of this Yao Hong. She's a very capable private investigator. With her involved, there shouldn't be any problems. As long as Lin Tian has dirt on him, she'll most likely be able to find it. Yao Hong quickly received Lin Tian's photo and name. She also received Luo Bingning's information. This person looks familiar. Yao Hong stared at Lin Tian's photo, pondering. Her memory was excellent, and soon she found a video online. In the video, a young man was carrying a little girl as they walked out of the sea. The lights on the beach were dim at night, making the video rather dark, but Yao Hong recognized the person in the video as Lin Tian. Lin Tian is actually the infamous playboy who's all over the internet. He hasn't stepped forward despite his fame, and his girlfriend is the Luo family's heiress. Could this so-called rescue be deliberately staged? Yao Hong thought carefully. As a private investigator, she knew about the Luo family's billions in assets, and she also knew that Luo Bingning was the only daughter in the Luo family across 3 generations. The allure of such immense wealth made it entirely possible for a rescue incident to be deliberately staged. Yao Hong scrolled through the video comments. Some commenters revealed Lin Tian's identity, but the photos and videos provided differed significantly from his appearance in the original Lin Tian. Others speculated that Lin Tian's physical condition wasn't as good as it seemed. The rescue happened last night. Since becoming a martial arts grandmaster, Lin Tian's appearance has subtly changed every day. Yao Hong's photos were from the last 2 days and differed from those in the comments. According to these commenters, Lin Tian seems quite ordinary, yet his running and swimming speeds are extremely fast. His guqin, a traditional Chinese stringed instrument, skills might even be at a professional level 10. Yao Hong smiled faintly. She became interested. Soon, Yao Hong found Lin Tian's phone number and entered it into a program she had written. Quickly, she obtained a new movement trajectory map. A children's welfare home? Yao Hong raised an eyebrow. Creating a persona of caring for orphans? Yao Hong found Lin Tian suspicious and quickly went downstairs to the Red Sun Children's Welfare Home, which Lin Tian and his companions had visited during the day. By the time Yao Hong arrived, it was already dark. However, the children were still awake. Many children were playing inside the orphanage. Yao Hong went directly to the orphanage's director, Hu Guofang. Director Hu, hello, my name is Yang Qin. I'd like to donate something to the children, but I don't know what your orphanage urgently needs right now. Yao Hong inquired. Hu Guofang smiled. Ms. Yang, thank you for your kindness, but with the help of many kind-hearted people, we don't lack anything right now, and we don't need any donations. Perhaps you could give your kindness to someone who needs it more. Yao Hong was surprised. They didn't even want donations? Director Hu, when I came in, I heard many children talking about Teacher Luo, and Teacher Luo's boyfriend, Brother Lin Tian. Are they volunteers who came today? Yao Hong asked tentatively. Hu Guofang chuckled and said, Xiao Lin is here for the first time. He was brought here by Teacher Luo, whom the children have been talking about. The children all like them very much. Yao Hong feigned surprise and said, Lin Tian is here for the first time, and the children already like him. Aren't the children shy? Hu Guofang. The children are indeed a little shy, but he's Bingning's boyfriend. Bingning has been volunteering here for a year, visiting 20 or 30 times. The children know her very well. More importantly, Xiao Lin's medical skills are superb. He cured 2 of our children today, and another child is also showing significant improvement. Yao Hong was a little puzzled. How could superb medical skills be related to Lin Tian? Director, Could you tell me more about it? To be honest, I'm a writer, and I'm quite interested in this kind of thing. Yao Hong inquired. Hu Guofang chuckled and said, I can tell you, but I have other things to do, so I can only give you a brief overview. 5 minutes later, Yao Hong emerged from the orphanage. Her expression was complex. Last night I saved a child at the beach, and today I cured 2 children, and the 3rd child will recover in the future. Yao Hong murmured to herself. If the incident at the beach last night could be faked, the orphanage would absolutely not cooperate with Lin Tian in faking it. This kind of faking would be too easy to investigate. The hospitals the 3 children had been treated at, whether they had been disabled all along, these things couldn't be hidden from the public. It's a pity, I won't earn that 300,000 yuan. Yao Hong shook her head. She loved money, but she still had a conscience. She felt guilty for deliberately finding dirt on Lin Tian to target him. Should I meet Lin Tian and Luo Bingning? The thought popped into Yao Hong's mind. She acted on her thought immediately, arriving at Lin Tian's apartment complex an hour later. Ding dong, the video intercom rang. Luo Bingning answered. It was the property management calling. Hello, Ms. Luo, you have a visitor. The property management staff said politely. Luo Bingning quickly saw Yao Hong, who smiled and said, Ms. Luo, I have something important to discuss with you and Mr. Lin. Is it convenient for you to come up? Luo Bingning was a little puzzled. Why did Yao Hong come to see them? Come on over. Luo Bingning agreed. She could take on 2 or 3 strong men. Even if Yao Hong came, she wouldn't pose a threat. Soon, Yao Hong arrived outside Luo Bingning's house. Please come in. Luo Bingning opened the door. Yao Hong glanced around. She didn't see Lin Tian. Who are you, and what are you doing here? Luo Bingning asked. Yao Hong handed over her business card. Miss Luo, my name is Yao Hong. I'm a private investigator, and I'm quite well known in this field. Luo Bingning frowned. You're investigating me and Lin Tian? You've got some nerve, Luo Bingning said coldly, radiating a powerful aura. Yao Hong was speechless. She had seen her share of big scenes, but Luo Bingning's aura still made her feel uncomfortable, even inferior. Luo Bingning's looks, temperament, and family background all far surpassed hers. Miss Luo, I meant no harm. I did receive a commission to investigate Lin Tian, with a fee of 300,000. But I discovered that Lin Tian saved a little girl last night and treated 3 children at the orphanage today. I'm not taking this job, Yao Hong quickly added. Hearing this, Luo Bingning's aura softened considerably. So you came here to tell me this? Luo Bingning said calmly. Yao Hong nodded. Telling you this might earn you a favor, Miss Luo. Besides, I'm a bit curious about Lin Tian. Lin Tian came out of the bedroom at that moment. He had just finished showering. Bingning, what's going on? Lin Tian asked. With his cultivation level, he had clearly heard Luo Bingning and the others' conversation. Luo Bingning quickly explained. Lin Tian chuckled. Miss Yao, isn't it a bit of a waste to just give up the 300,000 yuan commission? Yao Hong said calmly, I don't need the 300,000 yuan. Lin Tian shook his head. No, you do. Yao Hong frowned. Lin Tian said, go to a major hospital for a thorough checkup, especially your lungs. You might find something. Darling, she's sick? Luo Bingning asked, startled. Yao Hong looked quite well. She didn't seem ill. Lin Tian nodded. Probably, we'll find out if we check. Yao Hong was completely taken aback. Ms. Yao, if they don't find anything, do you need to return the 300,000? Lin Tian asked. Yao Hong shook her head. No need. I never return commission fees. If they find something, they'll give you even more. They? Lin Tian raised an eyebrow. Yao Hong was silent for a moment before saying, Mr. Lin, I'm sorry. I can't disclose client information. I can't tell you who commissioned them. Thank you for reminding me, Mr. Lin. Lin Tian said, there's a time limit for the commission, right? Yao Hong nodded. Whether they find anything or not, I definitely need to give the client a definite result within half a month. Lin Tian smiled slightly. Just accept the 300,000. Even if you investigate further, you won't find anything. Just say you didn't find anything when the time comes. Yao Hong nodded. Mr. Lin, Miss Luo, farewell. Yao Hong left quickly. Luo Bingning asked in surprise, Lin Tian, is she seriously ill? Yes, it's probably lung cancer. Traditional Chinese medicine emphasizes observation, listening, questioning, and palpation. We can diagnose it by examining her voice, complexion, and other signs. She's receiving active treatment, and there's still a chance she can be cured, Lin Tian said. Luo Bingning nodded. The fact that she gave up 300,000 yuan to come and talk to us shows she's not the kind of person who's greedy for money. This matter is definitely related to He Yuhao. I can have my dad step in and make He Yuhao reveal who was involved, so my dad can teach them a lesson. Lin Tian shook his head. We haven't been married long, and your dad already has to do something like this? His impression of me will be ruined. It's unnecessary to involve the parents over such a small matter. Lin Tian's eyes flashed. This matter didn't warrant Luo Bingning's family getting involved, but he wouldn't let it go so easily. He Yuhao and his gang are targeting him. He'll definitely get his revenge later. Then don't tell my dad yet. I'll definitely make them pay later. Luo Bingning frowned slightly and snorted coldly. Lin Tian chuckled and said, "Need me to hold you while you watch TV? If not, I'm going back to my room." "Go back to your room right now." Luo Bingning rolled her eyes at Lin Tian. The next day arrived in the blink of an eye, and Lin Tian met with the landlord. The two went to the real estate transaction center together to complete the transaction. The shop cost 14.36 million. In addition, Lin Tian paid the deed tax and other miscellaneous fees. Originally, he thought he would have about 1 million left after buying the shop, but in reality, after buying it, he only had a few 100,000 left in his account. "Xiao Lin, congratulations on your fortune. City is still suitable for young people like you to make your way in. An old man like me is better off retiring in a third-tier city." The landlord handed Lin Tian the shop keys and other belongings. "Uncle Zhao, come over for tea sometime." Lin Tian smiled. The two quickly said goodbye. Lin Tian went inside the shop, and looking at the things there, his feelings were different. Before, no matter how nice the decorations were, it belonged to someone else. Now he had bought the shop. He had a foothold in City. Even if his skills suddenly disappeared one day, as long as the shop was still there, the rent would be enough to support him. Beep beep, Lin Tian's phone suddenly rang. It was an unfamiliar number. "Hello, Mr. Lin, this is Yao Hong. My medical results just came back. Early-stage lung cancer. The doctor said there's hope for a cure, thank you." Yao Hong's voice trembled on the other end of the line. She couldn't believe it when she received the results. She actually had cancer. Thankfully, Lin Tian reminded her in time, otherwise, there would have been no cure. "Ms. Yao, you kindly reminded us, which gave me the opportunity to remind you. You'd better make the 300,000. Cancer costs a lot of money." "Mr. Lin, the person who hired me is surnamed Li." Yao Hong hung up the phone after saying that. Surnamed Li? Lin Tian immediately thought of Li Feng. Li Feng had previously hired a private investigator to investigate him. It was very likely that He Yuhao had seen him, and Li Feng probably suspected the previous results. It was normal for them to pool their money to hire a more capable investigator. "Half a month?" Lin Tian muttered. Yao Hong could stall Li Feng and his group for a while, giving him enough time to extract a few more treasure chests from Luo Bingning. Then he'd have a stronger chance to retaliate against Li Feng and his group. He was a martial arts master, but Li Feng and his group hadn't used violence. He couldn't very well just rush over and beat them up. The best approach was to retaliate financially. Li Feng and his group were relying on their family's wealth. If they lost money, it would be even more painful for them than being beaten. "I strongly urge Master Lin to do a live stream on the Gukan." "That's right, the Erhu is streamed. Why isn't the Gukan?" "Master Lin, please stream. I'll steal a battery to send you gifts." Lin Tian opened the Huayin app. He had just uploaded a new video, and it quickly garnered many comments. "A Gukan live stream too? If I have any new skills, I'll do a dedicated live stream for them." Lin Tian muttered to himself. He estimated he would definitely acquire new skills, and a live stream of each skill every week was something Lin Tian wouldn't do. It was too tiring. But a dedicated live stream for each new skill was a possibility. A dedicated live stream of the Gukan will be held tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. Please look forward to it. No more than 3 such dedicated live streams per year. Lin Tian pinned a message in the comments section. Ha ha ha, the Gukan dedicated live stream is finally here. Live streams are definitely more exciting than videos. No more than 3 such dedicated live streams per year? Master Lin is too lazy. 30 times a year would be more like it. Lin Tian's message quickly garnered many comments. In a courtyard house in the capital. Why hold a Gukan dedicated live stream? An Erhu dedicated live stream would be much better. Old Shen shook his head. His favorite instrument was the Erhu. Old Liang. Old Shen dialed a number. Master Lin is holding a dedicated Gukan live stream tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. Do you want to support him? On the other end of the line was Liang Shanda, a friend of Old Shen, who loved the Gukan. Old Shen, you've really become a die-hard fan of Master Lin, haven't you? You even called me to ask me to send him a gift. Liang Shanda said with a laugh. I need you to send him a gift? Do you think I'm short of money for gifts? I'm only reminding you out of consideration for our years of friendship. After you leave, your son might even have to hire him to play a piece for you on your way. Sending a gift now will earn you some goodwill, Old Shen said irritably. Liang Shanda. I'll watch it on time tomorrow. I want to see if he's worth my support. I also want to see if it's the same person. Lin Tian was wearing a mask, leading some to speculate that the Lin Master who played the Erhu and the Lin Master who played the Gukan were not the same person. Many people held this suspicion. Reaching the top master level in both Erhu and Gukan is very difficult. Old Liang, why don't you come over? We can watch together. Okay. Hanging up the phone, Liang Shanda smiled faintly. It's good to see an old friend. As for spending some money on live stream tips, is that a big deal? Although he wasn't as wealthy as Old Shen, he still had billions in assets. A few 100,000 was just a drop in the ocean for him. By evening, Lin Tian had bought quite a few things. Recording videos or doing a live stream might require some props. For example, throwing knives. My follower growth has slowed down considerably, Lin Tian muttered to himself. He already had 16 million followers by noon yesterday, and after more than a day, he'd only gained 500,000. To quickly gain followers, he needed to work on something tomorrow. Beep beep, Zhang Han called. Brother Zhang, what's the good news? Lin Tian asked. On the other end of the line, Zhang Han said, Master Lin, Huayin will try its best to recommend and drive traffic to your Gukan livestream tomorrow. We'll also arrange for a super admin to manage your livestream. Lin Tian chuckled. Brother Zhang, that's great, thank you so much. Zhang Han, some companies want to collaborate. They couldn't contact you, so they came to us. Do you want to take on some advertising? The prices they offered are quite good. Lin Tian thought for a moment and said, Brother Zhang, let's talk about advertising after I reach 30 million followers. There's no rush now. Bingning, I'm off work. I'll be home in half an hour. Lin Tian texted Luo Bingning, preparing to drive home. He figured Luo Bingning was already home, with a delicious meal prepared by her wife. That felt pretty good. Unfortunately, Luo Bingning hadn't truly married her yet. Beep beep, Luo Bingning called quickly. Lin Tian answered on speakerphone. Lin Tian, I didn't have time to cook today. I just got home and got a call. Uncle Tang was in a car accident and was in the emergency room. I have to go see him. Luo Bingning said quickly. Lin Tian was taken aback. Uncle Tang was in a car accident? Bingning, is that Tang Yan's second uncle? Yes, I just got the news. Why don't you go to the hospital too? Uncle Tang helped with Wei Jun's matter. Okay, send me the address. After hanging up, Luo Bingning quickly sent the address. Half an hour later, Lin Tian and Luo Bingning arrived at the hospital. Yanzi, what happened? Lin Tian and the others saw Tang Yan. Tang Yan's eyes were red, probably from crying. Her second uncle, Tang Pengyuan, had been very good to her, always thinking of her and looking after her. Tang Yan sobbed. Second uncle must have been targeted in retaliation. A sanitation truck suddenly accelerated and crashed into his car. Second uncle is seriously injured. The driver fled. Luo Bingning hugged Tang Yan. Yanzi, second uncle Tang is a lucky man. He'll definitely be alright. Didn't you say second uncle Tang is a master-level martial artist? His vitality is stronger than ordinary people. Lin Tian was somewhat surprised. Tang Yan's second uncle is a martial arts master? Tang Yan sobbed. Although second uncle is a martial arts master, he was injured during a mission before, and his strength isn't what it used to be. Otherwise, given second uncle's personality, he would definitely be in charge of criminal investigation instead of public security. Luo Bingning asked, how long has second uncle been in the operating room? Over an hour. Tang Yan was extremely worried. Over an hour without any news from the operating room made her very anxious. Luo Bingning looked at Lin Tian, hesitant. She wanted Lin Tian to help, but Tang Pengyuan's identity was special. If something happened to him, Lin Tian would bear a heavy responsibility. Besides, the hospital they were in was of a high level, and the doctors there probably wouldn't allow Lin Tian to participate in the treatment. Yanzi, has your aunt arrived? Luo Bingning asked. Tang Yan nodded. My aunt is here. She's at the operating room door. I came to pick you up and get some fresh air. I'll take you there. Soon, Lin Tian and the others arrived at the operating room door. A number of people were waiting. Tang Yan's second uncle, Tang Pengyuan, was a deputy bureau chief. His car accident, and not an accident at that, was no small matter. Auntie, don't be too sad. Uncle Tang will definitely be all right. Luo Bingning comforted her. Bingning, thank you for coming. Tang Yan's second aunt, Zhang Ruomen, said, her face pale. Hello, Auntie, I'm Bingning's boyfriend, Lin Tian. Lin Tian greeted her. Hello. Zhang Ruomen glanced at Lin Tian a few more times. She had heard from Tang Pengyuan that Luo Bingning was already married, and Lin Tian was actually Luo Bingning's husband. Auntie, is there any news from inside? Tang Yan inquired. Zhang Ruomen said in a hoarse voice, a doctor just came out and had me sign a few papers. The situation isn't good, but the doctor said they'll do their best to save him. Lin Tian listened intently. He could hear the sounds coming from the operating room. The situation was critical, but Tang Pengyuan was a martial artist. His vitality was stronger than ordinary people, so he should still be able to survive. 2 hours passed in the blink of an eye. The operating room light finally went out. The surgery was successful. The patient is out of danger. He will be transferred to the ICU. Family members can visit tomorrow. The doctor acted first. Soon, the patient was wheeled out. Lin Tian's expression changed slightly. Up close, he noticed something was wrong with Tang Pengyuan's condition. Tang Pengyuan still had a serious problem that hadn't been properly addressed. Wait a minute, doctor, there's still a hidden danger that hasn't been dealt with. If this danger isn't addressed, the patient will become critically ill again within 10 minutes. Lin Tian said solemnly. Several doctors glanced at Lin Tian, then completely ignored him and quickly wheeled the patient away. Lin Tian, why are you cursing my second uncle? Although I object to you and Bingning, you didn't need to do this. Tang Yan said angrily. In her opinion, Lin Tian was just talking nonsense. Tang Pengyuan had just come out of the operating room, and she certainly didn't want to hear such things. Yanzi, Lin Tian's medical skills are very high. Lin Tian, what kind of hidden danger is it? I'll talk to the doctor. If the doctor doesn't listen, I'll have my grandfather talk to the doctor. Luo Bingning said quickly. Tang Yan was stunned. Lin Tian's medical skills were really that good? Lin Tian was only 23 years old. How good could his medical skills be? This was S City, and this was one of S City's top hospitals. The doctors performing surgeries here were all highly skilled. The doctor who operated on Tang Pengyuan was an authority in this field. Lin Tian said in a deep voice. Uncle Tang Yan was anesthetized, but he's a martial artist. His recovery speed will be much faster than an ordinary person. Once he recovers, his internal energy will circulate. The problem is, his meridians are blocked, preventing the smooth flow of his internal energy. Stimulating his internal energy will cause him to bleed heavily. Tang Yan asked, Lin Tian, how do you know all this? Yanzi, Lin Tian inherited ancient medical skills. He diagnosed someone with lung cancer at a glance today. Luo Bingning said gravely. They quickly told the doctors about the situation. However, the doctors here weren't skilled martial artists, nor did they possess ancient medical skills. They couldn't detect Tang Pengyuan's problem at all. As family members, it's normal for you to be anxious. But please trust us, the patient's data is all correct. The instruments don't lie, and the data doesn't lie. The doctor gave Lin Tian and the others their answer. Lin Tian secretly shook his head. Data certainly doesn't lie, but data can change. 8 or 9 minutes passed quickly. Tang Pengyuan woke up in the ICU. A normal person would take at least 2 or 3 hours to wake up, but he recovered from anesthesia much faster. Beep beep, beep beep beep. The urgent alarm sounded rapidly. Soon, Tang Pengyuan's vital signs deteriorated rapidly. His meridians were blocked, his internal energy was activated, and Tang Pengyuan fell unconscious again. Make way, make way. Tang Pengyuan was rushed into the operating room again. How could this happen? Tang Yan was dumbfounded, and her aunt's face also turned grim. Lin Tian shook his head inwardly. It was something he had expected. Lin Tian, can you solve Uncle Tang's problem? Luo Bingning asked. Lin Tian nodded slightly. If Uncle Tang can come out of the emergency room alive, I should be able to restore his meridians. He happened to have a box of silver needles with him. He had bought the silver needles that afternoon. Having received the inheritance of ancient medical techniques, carrying a box of silver needles was better than nothing. Wah! Hearing Lin Tian's words, Tang Yan burst into tears. The second time she went into the emergency room could be even more dangerous than the first time. Young man, you know medicine? The hospital director rushed over shortly after. Sweat beaded on his forehead. If Tang Pengyuan died because they hadn't heeded advice, their hospital would bear a heavy responsibility, and he, as the director, would certainly have to take responsibility. I know a little. Lin Tian nodded slightly. Young man, I am the director of this hospital. My surname is Shi. Your assessment of Director Tang's condition is very accurate. What do you think the chances of a successful surgery for Director Tang? The hospital director asked gravely. Lin Tian glanced at Tang Yan and her aunt. Director Shi, there's no need to hide anything from the family at this point. Just tell us what you have to say. Saving the patient is the most important thing. Lin Tian, please tell us. Tang Yan said, her eyes brimming with tears. Lin Tian listened carefully to the sounds coming from the operating room. The chances of the patient leaving the operating room alive are about 20% to 30%. Hearing Lin Tian say this, Tang Yan's aunt's legs went weak. Luo Bingning quickly supported her. Director Shi's heart raced. Good heavens, 20% to 30%? That's like the Grim Reaper is already on his way to take him away. Xiao Lin, what if I agreed to let you go into the operating room to help? What are your chances of Director Shi surviving? Don't worry, I'll take full responsibility. Dean Shi asked after careful consideration. Lin Tian said, Dean Shi, I don't have a medical license. Are you sure you want me to go into the operating room to save someone? This is no joke. The responsibility for Tang Pengyuan giving acupuncture is different from his going into the operating room to save someone if something goes wrong. Tell me your chances of success first, Dean Shi said. Lin Tian replied without hesitation, if I go in, I'm about 80–90% sure. I can make up for the shortcomings of the doctors inside. Lin Tian, please save my second uncle. Tang Yan pleaded, I've saved up a lot of pocket money, I'll give it all to you. Xiao Lin, please save my old Tang. Don't worry, even if something happens to him, our family will absolutely not hold you responsible. Tang Yan's aunt also quickly added. Dean Shi said in a deep voice, Xiao Lin, extraordinary times call for extraordinary measures. If there's responsibility, it's my responsibility as the dean. Don't worry. Just then, the operating room door opened. Ms. Lu, you need to sign a few papers. A doctor came out. Tang Yan's aunt, surnamed Lu, looked pale and said, Doctor, is my husband's condition very dangerous? What are your chances of success? The doctor hesitated. Dean. She said, tell the truth. Yes, Dean, Ms. Lu, Director Tang's condition is very serious. We can't find the cause of the deterioration. The chances of a successful surgery are probably no more than 30%. The doctor spoke truthfully. He had seen this situation many times before. Xiao Lin. Dean Shi looked at Lin Tian. Lin Tian asked, where can I change? Quickly, take Xiao Lin to change into a sterile gown. Dean Shi instructed. Soon, Lin Tian entered the operating room. Inside the operating room, Drive. Dong, the lead surgeon, was sweating profusely. Tang Pengyuan was a man of considerable status. They hadn't listened to Lin Tian, resulting in a second surgery. If Tang Pengyuan died, they would bear a heavy responsibility. Even disregarding the consequences, Tang Pengyuan's current condition was extremely precarious. His chances of survival were probably less than 20%. Dr. Dong, the hospital director, asked me to come in and help. Let me know if you need any assistance. If not, I'll just observe from the sidelines, Lin Tian said. You're the one who reminded us young people. I'm sorry we didn't listen to you. We desperately need your help. The chief surgeon, Dr. Dong Renchang, said hurriedly. Lin Tian approached and placed his hand on Tang Pengyuan's pulse. Lin Tian quickly assessed Tang Pengyuan's condition. He didn't show off his skills. but calmly inserted several silver needles, the last one targeting a blockage in Tang Pengyuan's meridian. Lin Tian gently squeezed the needle, channeling a wisp of internal energy into Tang Pengyuan's meridian. Soon, the blockage in Tang Pengyuan's meridian was cleared. It's rising, it's rising, the blood pressure is up. The instruments showed that Tang Pengyuan's condition was rapidly improving. I'll help you stop the bleeding, Lin Tian said, inserting a few more silver needles into Tang Pengyuan. The bleeding from the 2 large bleeding points quickly decreased. Dr. Dong, it's up to you now. Lin Tian stepped aside. Thank you, drive, Dong said gratefully. Leave the rest to us. With the key issues resolved and the 2 major bleeding points dealt with, the rest were minor problems for Dr. Dong and his team. In less than half an hour, drive. Dong and his team completed the surgery. Young man, these silver needles, drive. Dong looked at Lin Tian. Lin Tian smiled and said, the silver needles can be removed. Lin Tian quickly removed the silver needles, and all the indicators were normal. Young man, would you like to check Director Tang's pulse again? Dr. Dong asked. Lin Tian nodded, and he quickly checked Tang Pengyuan's pulse again. There's no problem. Director Tang will be able to get out of bed and walk around in a week. So fast, Dr. Dong said in surprise. Lin Tian chuckled. Director Tang is a martial artist. His recovery ability is faster than that of an ordinary person. An ordinary person might need more than half a month. I'll go out now. The operating room light went out, and Lin Tian went outside. Tang Yan hurriedly asked, Lin Tian, what's wrong with my second uncle? Lin Tian smiled and said, the surgery was very successful. Dr. Dong and the others are highly skilled. Your second uncle is out of danger. Another doctor walked out from behind Lin Tian. Gratitude was evident in his eyes. Lin Tian's words reduced their liability. If they had listened to Lin Tian earlier, Tang Pengyuan wouldn't have had to go back into the operating room. Dr. Dong, the chief surgeon, also came out at this moment. Thanks to Dr. Lin, his acupuncture skills are amazing. After just a few needles, the patient's vital signs returned to normal. It's fortunate that Dr. Lin went in. Otherwise, the consequences would have been unimaginable. Dr. Dong said with some lingering fear, drive. Lin, which hospital do you work at? How about coming to our hospital? Lin Tian shook his head. I'm not a doctor. Huh, Dr. Dong was stunned. Given Lin Tian's demonstrated skill, Lin Tian wasn't a doctor? Tang Pengyuan was then wheeled out. His face looked rather pale, but otherwise he seemed all right. Lin Tian, thank you. I'll give you all my allowance. Tang Yan said gratefully. Lin Tian waved his hand. Forget it, what would I do with your allowance? Tang Pengyuan was pushed away, and Luo Bingning giggled. Lin Tian, you missed a chance to make a fortune. Tang Yan is a little rich girl. Her allowance is at least 300,000, if not 500,000. Lin Tian looked at Tang Yan. Will you give it back? Yes, Tang Yan nodded. Lin Tian paused for a moment, then waved his hand, just kidding. Keep your allowance for yourself. I'm a loyal person. I only live off one person. Luo Bingning blushed slightly. Little Lin, thank you. I won't even mention money. Our old Tang owes you a life. Aunt Tang Yan said solemnly. Lin Tian quickly replied, Aunt Lu, you're too kind. I'm Bingning's boyfriend, and Uncle Tang helped us a few days ago. Little Lin, thank you. Have you ever considered becoming a doctor at our hospital? I can help you with your medical license. Dean Shi grasped Lin Tian's hands. With his status and position, getting Lin Tian a medical license wouldn't be difficult. Dean Shi, my skills are average, so I won't come to your hospital. Lin Tian shook his head in refusal. He was joking. Becoming a doctor meant endless overtime. He had no interest in that. Huh. Just then, Lin Tian sensed a murderous intent. The intent emanated from a doctor in a white coat. A martial arts expert. Lin Tian's eyes narrowed slightly. The opponent's stance was very stable. He was likely not a doctor. Mr. Lin, I am Tan Zhengguo, the director of the S-City Public Security Bureau. On behalf of the S-City Public Security Bureau, I would like to express my gratitude for your help. Just as Dean Shi released Lin Tian's hand, another person shook hands with him. Lin Tian was somewhat surprised. S-City is a high-ranking city. Tan Zhengguo's status is very high. Director Tan, was Deputy Director Tang targeted in retaliation? I just saw a doctor acting strangely. His gait was like someone who had trained in martial arts. He headed towards the intensive care unit. Lin Tian reminded him. Tan Zhengguo's expression changed, as did Tang Yan and the others. Who is protecting him over there? Tell them to be on high alert immediately. You few come with me. Tan Zhengguo quickly asked. Lin Tian had just saved Tang Yuanpeng's life, and Tan Zhengguo dared not be careless about Lin Tian's warning. They acted swiftly. Lin Tian, you stay here. I'll go help. I'll go with you, Tang Yan said quickly. She was at the peak of the Mingjin realm. Most people were no match for her. I'll go with you. You might not recognize me. Lin Tian followed, but Luo Bingning didn't. Although Luo Bingning practiced martial arts, she hadn't even reached the Mingjin level. Against ruthless bandits, her strength was insufficient. Her presence might be a hindrance. Lin Tian, you stay behind me. Don't be reckless. You're just an ordinary person. I've practiced martial arts since I was a child. Tang Yan whispered a reminder. Do you know how to throw knives? Lin Tian asked. Tang Yan shook her head. Our Tang family has nothing to do with the Tang clan in novels. We don't know how to throw knives. We specialize in swords. Your footwork and fist skills are also quite good. Soon, Lin Tian and his group approached the intensive care unit where Tang Penyuan was located. 2 police officers were guarding the outside. Have you seen the suspect? Tan Zhengguo inquired. Chief, a doctor just walked down those stairs. We dare not leave without permission and cannot confirm his identity, one of the police officers answered. Tang Yan rushed towards the stairwell. Lin Tian followed closely behind, his speed no slower than Tang Yan's. Stop! Rushing into the stairwell, Tang Yan saw a doctor. The chances of other doctors being there at that moment were slim. The other person immediately turned around. The dark muzzle of their gun pointed at Tang Yan. Watch out! Lin Tian quickly pulled Tang Yan back. Bang! A loud gunshot rang out. The bullet whizzed past where Tang Yan had just been standing. If Lin Tian hadn't pulled her back, Tang Yan might have been shot in the heart. Ah! The next second, the assailant screamed. Lin Tian smashed his phone hard against his forehead. In the heat of the moment, Lin Tian didn't use his inner strength, but his physical abilities were superior, and the phone he threw carried tremendous force. Die! Tang Yan was both shocked and furious. She leapt over 10 steps and kicked the assailant hard in the chest. Crack! The sound of bones breaking rang out. The assailant had several broken bones. Tang Yan's kick showed no mercy. If the assailant's physical abilities were weaker, she might have killed him with that kick. Crack! Without giving the assailant a chance to fire a second shot, Tang Yan punched his wrist, breaking his forearm. Tang Yan, Lin Tian. Several police officers rushed into the stairwell. The situation in the stairwell astonished them. Lin Tian and Tang Yan were unharmed, but the thug was in a sorry state. Tan Zhengguo soon appeared as well. Director Tan, this is the man I saw. Lin Tian pointed to the thug who had been knocked to the ground by Tang Yan. Tan Zhengguo asked. He fired a shot. Are you all right? Lin Tian shook his head. Tang Yan said fearfully, luckily, Lin Tian pulled me up. Otherwise I would definitely have been shot. Tan Zhengguo breathed a sigh of relief. It's good that everyone's all right. Immediately calm the crowd down and tell them that the police fired a warning shot at the rioters. The gunshot was so loud that many people in the hospital heard it. Yes, Chief, Tan Zhengguo said somewhat angrily. Xiao Yan, Xiao Lin, you were too impulsive. What if something had happened to you? Xiao Yan, your second uncle is still in his hospital bed. If something happened to you, how would I explain it to him when he wakes up? Tang Yan said sheepishly. Uncle Tan, I'm all right, aren't I? Tan Zhengguo said irritably. If it weren't for Xiao Lin, would you still be saying that? Your second uncle will scold you then. Take him away. The thug was quickly taken away. The police would handle the aftermath. Lin Tian, thank you. You saved my second uncle, and just now you saved me. Tang Yan said gratefully. Lin Tian smiled and said, since I saved you, will you say less about me and Bingning not being a good match in the future? Tang Yan shook her head. One thing at a time. I'm Bingning's best friend. She's so outstanding. I still think you and her aren't a good match. Why don't you consider me? I'm not as outstanding as her, and you saved me. How about I be your girlfriend? Lin Tian. He shook his head. Not so great. I'm so outstanding. I deserve better. To be fair, Tang Yan's looks are not bad, but it depends on who you compare her to. Compared to Luo Bingning, there's a clear difference. Tang Yan is more suited to being a brother. Aren't you leaving? Lin Tian turned to leave. Tan Zhengguo and the others had already left. Tang Yan said awkwardly, I twisted my ankle when someone kicked me. You go ahead, I'll rest here for a while. Lin Tian turned on his phone. It hit the assailant's head and fell to the ground, but the phone was still intact. Xiao Xiao's superior skills are truly impressive. Bingning, we're in the stairwell near the ICU. Lin Tian called Luo Bingning. Soon, Luo Bingning and Tang Yan's aunt arrived. Tang Yan recounted what had just happened, and Luo Bingning and the others were equally shaken. They initially thought it was the police who fired the shots, but it turned out to be the assailant who fired them, and Tang Yan was almost shot. Lin Tian, does Yanzi need treatment for her sprained ankle? Luo Bingning asked. Lin Tian shook his head. Just ice it when you get home. She's a martial artist. She'll recover in no time. Little Lin, I really don't know how to thank you enough. You saved old Tang, you saved Xiao Yan, and you even discovered the culprit. Aunt Tang Yan said gratefully. If Lin Tian hadn't discovered the culprit, Tang Pengyuan might have been killed. Lin Tian essentially saved 2 lives for Tang Pengyuan. Aunt Lu, it was nothing. Lin Tian smiled. Aunt Tang Yan said solemnly, it may be nothing to you, but it's an immense favor to our Tang family. We'll come to thank you together after old Tang is discharged. Lin Tian pulled Luo Bingning away quickly. He couldn't stand such politeness. Outside the hospital, Luo Bingning's heartbeat gradually calmed down. Lin Tian, why did you rush in like that with Yanzi? She's a martial artist, you're not. Don't do that again. This time you were lucky, blessed by heaven. Next time, I won't talk to you anymore. Lin Tian looked at Luo Bingning with a half smile. Bingning, are you worried about me? Would you cry if something really happened to me? Don't talk nonsense, I'll hit you. Luo Bingning's right hand was held by Lin Tian, and she punched Lin Tian's chest with her left hand. Lin Tian reached out his right hand, and Luo Bingning was immediately pulled into his arms. Instantly, Luo Bingning's face turned red. Her heart raced. A black iron treasure chest appeared above her head. Lin Tian, you let me go. Luo Bingning said weakly. Her heart was pounding. Would Lin Tian kiss her? Although her affection for him had increased further, she really wasn't prepared for this. Lin Tian leaned forward slightly. His forehead touched the black iron treasure chest. Instantly, the black iron treasure chest disappeared. Ding, black iron treasure chest opened. Congratulations, host, you have obtained master-level firearms shooting skills. The system's voice rang out. A massive amount of information rapidly flooded into Lin Tian's mind. Long and short, domestic and international. The flood of information included a wealth of firearms knowledge, and of course, related practical experience. Before long, his firearms shooting skills would all reach the master level, and even the top master level. Even the King of Soldiers' shooting level is probably only master level. There are quite a few King of Soldiers in China, but the number of Grandmasters is extremely small. It's unlikely that all of them have reached the Grandmaster level in shooting. The FN-57 pistol uses 5.7mm pistol ammunition, has a 20-round capacity, a muzzle velocity of 650 meters per second, and can penetrate standard body armor within its effective range. It's known as a police killer. Lin Tian recalled the information about the handgun used by the thugs earlier that day. I've actually gained firearms shooting ability, not bad, not bad. Lin Tian thought to himself. Guns are prohibited in China. Ordinary people have no access to firearms. But he's no longer an ordinary person, so he might have some contact with them. With this ability, he might need it someday. Grandmaster-level martial arts are powerful, but if he encountered several armed thugs, he might be riddled with bullets before he even got close. If he also had a gun, he could take down enemies from a distance. Lin Tian, you mustn't do anything reckless. Otherwise, I won't talk to you anymore. Luo Bingning's face flushed crimson. She pushed Lin Tian forcefully, but couldn't budge him. She had practiced martial arts, but she hadn't reached the Mingjin level. Her strength was less than that of an average man. How could she possibly move Lin Tian? Bingning, I was just giving you a hug. What are you thinking? Lin Tian chuckled. He released Luo Bingning. If he leaned down and kissed Luo Bingning now, perhaps she wouldn't resist, but it wasn't necessary to be so forward. They had only known each other for a little over a week. The timing wasn't right. Besides, Lin Tian felt that the chances of Luo Bingning getting treasure chests were higher when she was nervous. Kissing her now might reduce the chances. You pervert, you're not allowed to hug me anymore, Luo Bingning said coquettishly. Let's go home quickly, Lin Tian smiled. He ignored Luo Bingning's protest against being hugged anymore. They'd already hugged each other several times. What harm would a little more do? These things become familiar with over time. Okay, Luo Bingning nodded. They both drove over. Back in her car, Luo Bingning looked in the mirror and noticed her face was still a little red. You rascal, there are so many people at the hospital, Luo Bingning muttered to herself. Half an hour later, they arrived home. It was quite late. They had waited for a considerable time outside the emergency room. Their evening cultivation was delayed. However, obtaining a treasure chest at the hospital made it all worthwhile. Besides the treasure chest, he had other gains. He added several people as WeChat friends, including Dean Shi and Director Tan. He had helped them a great deal today. If it weren't for him, Dean Shi, as the hospital director, would have faced considerable trouble after Tang Pengyuan's death, not to mention Director Tan Zhengguo, especially later on. If the murderer had killed Tang Pengyuan inside the hospital, Tan Zhengguo, as the highest-ranking leader present, would have bore a heavy responsibility. Ordinary connections might be useless, but connections like those of Tan Zhengguo might come in handy sometime in the future. Lin Tian, where did you learn your ancient medical skills? Luo Bingning asked curiously. Lin Tian had diagnosed Yao Hong with lung cancer, cured Shu Hu and the others, and today saved Wen Tang Pengyuan. His medical skills were undoubtedly very strong. One event might be a coincidence, or Lin Tian might just be skilled in one area, but when combined, it couldn't be as simple as a coincidence. Once upon a time, a wandering Taoist priest passed through our village. Stop. Lin Tian was interrupted by Luo Bingning before he could finish. She said irritably, Lin Tian, isn't that reason too far-fetched? Lin Tian shrugged. Looks like I can't fool you. I'll lay it all out. I have a system. It's the system that gave me this ability. Luo Bingning. She rolled her eyes. Your reason is even worse than the one you just gave me. Lin Tian secretly shook his head. These days, nobody believes the truth. His skills were given to him by the system, weren't they? I'm too lazy to ask you anymore. Go to sleep. Luo Bingning went back to her bedroom after saying that. If she really ended up with Lin Tian, it wouldn't matter why Lin Tian's medical skills were so strong. After all, Lin Tian was her husband. If they divorced, it wouldn't matter even more. Director Tan, the interrogation results are in. The killer's name is Yu Quansu, a drug trafficker from the Black Triangle region. 3 years ago, Deputy Director Tang killed his brother during a drug raid. He didn't bring a gun before the operation. He originally intended to run over Deputy Director Tang, but finding him unharmed, he sneaked into the hospital to prepare for a second operation. He has over a dozen lives on his hands, including 2 of our border guards. Someone called Tan Zhengguo to report. Yu Quansu had several broken bones, but even so, the investigation had to proceed immediately, lest Yu Quansu have accomplices. Contact Deputy Director Tang's former unit and tell them the results. They might also be looking for Yu Quansu, Tan Zhengguo said in a deep voice. Yes, Director. Tan Zhengguo hung up the phone. Old Tan, what's going on so late? Tan Zhengguo's wife was woken up, and she asked groggily. Tan Zhengguo chuckled. Wasn't Deputy Director Tang attacked? The culprit who murdered him has been caught, and he was a big fish. I also met an interesting young man today. Tan Zhengguo's wife said. For you to call him interesting, he must be someone special. Is he a man or a woman? If he's a man, why don't we introduce him to our daughter? You're always worried our daughter won't get married? Tan Zhengguo said irritably. Besides, that Xiao Lin already has a girlfriend, and she's the daughter of the Luo family. Which Luo family? Tan Zhengguo said. Which Luo family? The richest one. Luo Renji has a wonderful daughter, but unfortunately no son. But having a good son-in-law wouldn't be bad either. Tan Zhengguo's wife exclaimed in surprise. Bingning has a boyfriend? I used to hold her when she was little. She was so cute back then. Later, Luo Renji went into business, and you went into politics, so our families lost touch. Why don't you invite them over sometime? With all this praise, you probably owe them a favor, right? Tan Zhengguo chuckled. All right, I'll have them come over for dinner another day. I do owe Xiao Lin a favor. Deputy Director Tang owes even more. If it weren't for Xiao Lin today, we could have a feast at Deputy Director Tang's house. Tan Zhengguo's wife said irritably, "You're so unserious. Deputy Director Tang is still in the ICU. Can't you say something nice?" Hee, I'm saying that because I'm saying it. It means his risk isn't high. Alright, let's go to sleep. Tan Zhengguo smiled. A weight lifted from his heart. He could finally sleep peacefully. Waiting for Master Lin to sink. I think the two Master Lins aren't the same person. They're wearing masks to mislead us into thinking they're the same person. Double masters are easier to gain fans. Chinese people love to fabricate things. We should learn a lot from Europe and America, from Japan, in this regard. The next morning, after finishing his cultivation, Lin Tian opened the Huayin app and frowned. There were quite a few questioning comments in the comment section. Some of the questions were relatively normal. Some were purely malicious smears. If it were just simple smears, Lin Tian wouldn't be very angry, but some of the strange comments disgusted him. Some people have been kneeling for too long. Their knees have gone weak and they can't stand up. Lin Tian, breakfast is in the steamer. Coming out of his room, Lin Tian saw a note on the bathroom mirror. He hadn't cultivated last night, so he cultivated an extra cycle this morning. Luo Bingning had already gone to work. Not writing about husband, bad review, Lin Tian muttered. After breakfast, Lin Tian hurried to his studio, the shop he had bought now serving as his workplace. Inside a courtyard house in the capital. Old Shen, Master Lin's popularity is quite impressive, Liang Shanda said with a smile, taking a sip of tea. A large screen in front of them displayed Lin Tian's live stream. The live stream was currently black. However, the number of viewers already showed over 100,000. The live stream was very popular, with many fans already sending gifts. Old Shen asked, "If you're certain of Master Lin's skill level in the Guqin, and if you're sure he's young, wouldn't you fully support him?" Liang Shanda nodded slightly. "If he truly possesses that level of skill, I will support him." Old Shen smiled and asked, "Why? Why?" Liang Shanda thought for a moment. Our country's economy has developed rapidly in recent years, but our culture has lagged behind. If he truly possesses the skill of a top master in the Guqin, he might become a leading figure in the field in China's Guqin world in the future. Old Shen gave a thumbs up. "That's spot on. Since you know this, you should understand why I support him, and why Chairman Yu Yang and the others support him as well. You still need to confirm the Guqin performance, but we've already confirmed the Erhu. It's a pity that Master Lin is holding a Guqin-only performance this time." Old Shen shook his head with some regret. Personal preferences differ. He prefers the Erhu. "Here it comes," Liang Shanda said. The live stream suddenly displayed a video, and instantly the popularity soared as many people rushed into Lin Tian's live stream. The Guqin has a wider audience than the Erhu. Moreover, Lin Tian only had 5 million followers during his last live stream, but this time he already had 17 million. He also signed an SS-level contract with Huayin. Huayin's support for him naturally increased significantly. "Old Liang, I'll send a few gifts to show my support first. If he cheats later, we'll scold him together," Old Shen said with a smile. He had already learned how to send gifts. Fan Old Rascal sent 100 super rockets. Rockets shot into the sky. A super rocket costs 1,000 yuan, so 100 rockets would be 100,000 yuan. "Master Lin, quite a few people are questioning whether you've changed performers. Could you play a piece called Riding a Horse to verify your identity?" Old Shen sent a message. As Lin Tian's #1 fan, his words were large and bold, and they floated directly across the live stream screen. "Support, support." Many supportive comments appeared on the screen. Many of Lin Tian's Erhu fans were watching the live stream, so they naturally supported him. Others didn't mind verifying his identity first. Lin Tian smiled. "Everyone, today is a Guqin, Chinese zither, special, but since everyone supports me, I'll play a piece first. This doesn't count. The Guqin performance will still be a full 2 hours later." Lin Tian didn't leave the screen. He reached for his Erhu. A piece called Riding a Horse for Everyone. Lin Tian quickly began to play the Erhu, and the stirring music began. Listening to Master Lin play the Erhu is truly a treat. Erhu playing is definitely not all the same. Yesterday, I heard an old man playing in the park, and it almost killed me. Many comments popped up on the screen, but most people were listening intently. The piece ended soon after. Fan Old Rascal gifted 100 spaceships. Countless people were stunned. Spaceships are the most expensive gifts, costing 28,888 each, and yet 100 were given away directly. Old Shen, you. Liang Shanda was astonished. Old Shen smiled. I'm too old to send them away slowly, so I just sent them all at once so I can watch the live stream in peace. Thank you for the gift, old rascal. Lin Tian never usually expressed gratitude. This time, he unusually thanked him. 100 spaceships plus 100 super rockets, that's almost 3 million. If you were a beautiful female streamer, she'd probably end the broadcast instantly and go deliver takeout. Everyone, please listen quietly to the Gukan. I'll play with all my heart. Let me know what kind of piece you'd like to hear. First piece, Guangling San. Lin Tian casually began playing the famous Gukan piece, Guangling San. The melodious sound clearly reached the ears of each listener. Absolutely top-tier master level. I'm not as good as Master Lin. Those who say Master Lin's Gukan playing isn't top-tier can stop. Now, after the piece ended, several Gukan masters commented in the live chat. They were officially verified. Old Liang, how was it? While your Gukan skills may not be great, your appreciation skills are definitely not a problem. Old Shen inquired. Liang Shanda's eyes showed a hint of doubt. Old Shen, Master Lin's playing gives me the feeling of Grandmaster Shu playing. Master Lin is a Grandmaster of the Gukan? That's impossible. Old Shen shook his head. You can tell from his hands that Lin Tian is definitely not very old. Being a double master is already incredible, let alone a Grandmaster of the Gukan? I'll call Grandmaster Shu and have him watch the live stream. Liang Shanda dialed the number, and the call connected quickly. On the other end was an elderly man in his 70s, Shu Guochang, the only Grandmaster of the Gukan in China today. Brother Liang, what's the matter? Shu Guochang's voice came through. He seemed somewhat excited. Master Shu, there's a young man live streaming the Gukan. He seems to have a bit of your style. Would you like to take a look? Liang Shanda inquired. On the other end of the phone, Shu Guochang laughed heartily. Brother Liang, you're talking about Shaolin, right? I'm watching his live stream right now. Master Shu, is Master Lin a top-tier master? Shu Guochang paused for a few seconds, then said, Brother Liang, he's not a top-tier master. If I'm not mistaken, he should already be a grandmaster. Liang Shanda's eyes widened in shock. Master Shu, are you sure? Most likely. Brother Liang, don't tell anyone. He's still young. Such a promising talent shouldn't be wasted. Shu Guochang cautioned. After hanging up, Liang Shanda couldn't believe it. Old Liang, why do you look like you've seen a ghost? Old Shen asked. Liang Shanda took a deep breath. Master Shu said he should be a grandmaster. Old Shen stared blankly at Liang Shanda. After a long while, Old Shen let out a long sigh. If he really is a grandmaster, his future is limitless. He could very well become a double grandmaster in the future. Liang Shanda shook his head. Perhaps even more. Don't forget his martial arts prowess. He could very well be a martial arts master. Old Shen's eyes lit up. I almost forgot about that. He used to be quite poor, unable to even afford a decent Erhu. He probably only revealed his abilities to make money after reaching the martial arts master level. He's still wearing a mask even in this situation. He's quite cautious. Old Shen and Liang Shanda exchanged a smile. Master Lin's caution meant he should live a long life, and they were happy to see this happen. Old Liang, how about a donation? Old Shen laughed. This is a future triple grandmaster. It's no exaggeration to say that in the future, the higher-ups might even invite him to some major events that we can't even attend. Liang Shanda nodded. That was quite possible. For example, what difference would it make if some top foreign figures came? Tens or hundreds of billions? They wouldn't even notice. A triple grandmaster is different. For some foreign bigwigs, having the country invite Master Lin to play a piece is a sign that China values them. Fan Lao Liang sends 100 spaceships. Liang Shanda quickly recharged and sent the gift. Seeing this, many viewers of the live stream were stunned. Wow, 2 die-hard fans sent 5 or 6 million. Is this fake? Is it a case of the rich getting their money back, and the poor getting a 30/70th split? Hey, let me introduce you. The person who just gave the gift is the chairman of the Liang Group, worth over 50 small goals. Countless comments flooded the screen. Old Shen glanced at Liang Shanda. Old Liang, you're too cunning. You used this account to tip, publicly giving face and advertising at the same time. With so many tips from Liang, Shanda, he might even trend on social media. The advertising effect could easily exceed 2 or 3 million. I didn't think about any of that. This is the only account I have. Liang Shanda shrugged. Besides, why would I advertise? I'm just a semi-retired old man. I'm too lazy to talk to you anymore. Listen to the zither. Old Shen leisurely lay down. Huayin headquarters. Zhang Han arrived at Director Fang Zhengming's office. Director, in less than half an hour, Master Lin's tips are already approaching 7 million. They might even break 10 million. Zhang Han said excitedly. He could hardly believe it. Earning millions from a top streamer's product sales wasn't difficult, but earning millions from tips was incredibly difficult. They knew perfectly well that Lin Tian hadn't spent those money themselves. Chairman Liang and the others probably spent it all at once. Without super-rich fans like them, 10 million is probably impossible. 8 million shouldn't be a problem, Fang Zhengming said. He sighed. Even after deducting the donations from Elder Shen and the other 2 super-rich fans, Lin Tian's remaining donations were still considerable. Director, I think 10 million is possible. Master Lin's Guqin and Erhu have both reached top-tier master level. Could he become a Grand Master in one of them in the future? If he becomes a Grand Master in both, or even a martial arts Grand Master, Zhang Han said. Fang Zhengming took a deep breath. You mean, some people understand this and will tip to build goodwill first? Zhang Han nodded. I think it's entirely possible. Fang Zhengming pondered for a moment. I'll talk to the higher-ups again and see if we should give Master Lin some more traffic support. Director, you're busy. Bingning, have you watched the live stream? Master Lin is amazing. His Guqin playing is indeed top tier. Tang Yan called Luo Bingning excitedly. No, I was busy just now. If you're free, I recommend you watch it. Hanging up the phone, Luo Bingning quickly entered the live stream room. She had some free time now. Beautiful. Top masters are indeed amazing. Luo Bingning's eyes lit up. She loved music, and her appreciation of the Guqin was quite good. Luo Bingning stared at Master Lin's hands on the screen. She felt that Master Lin's hands and Lin Tian's hands seemed somewhat similar. Why am I thinking about Lin Tian again? Luo Bingning shook her head. While Lin Tian's Guqin skills were decent, the difference was stark compared to Master Lin's effortless performance in the live stream. It's a pity I don't have the money right now, otherwise a performance of this caliber would be worth tipping. Luo Bingning muttered to herself. Time ticked by, and Huayin provided even more traffic, attracting a number of wealthy fans to the live stream. These wealthy fans weren't as rich as Elder Shen and his group, but some still tipped tens of thousands of yuan. By the time the 2-hour Guqin performance was nearing its end, the total tipping amount had already surpassed 9 million yuan. Master Lin, where's your special move? Master Lin, what amazing skill will you show us today? Countless comments flooded the screen. Many people had come specifically for this. Fans of the Erhu and Guqin also hoped Lin Tian would demonstrate some special talents. Lin Tian glanced at his followers. They were already approaching 18.5 million. Everyone, if you haven't followed yet, please do so. I'll show you something amazing. The person who said they'd have my babies, thank you. The streamer is married. Lin Tian laughed. With Lin Tian's reminder, those who hadn't followed quickly did so, and in less than a minute, his followers surged by 300,000. A total of 18.8 million followers, not bad. Let me show you some sonic attacks. After Lin Tian finished speaking, a screen full of question marks appeared. Holy crap, Master Lin, are you talking about the sonic attacks from Stephen Chow's movies? Really? Many viewers of the live stream went crazy. If Lin Tian really showed off something like that, it would be absolutely incredible. Lin Tian chuckled and said, it's a sonic attack, but not that powerful. Just enjoy the show. Lin Tian bent down and picked up a wooden plank about an inch thick. The plank was thicker and larger than a kitchen mortar. Everyone, this is a real wooden plank. Let's hear the sound. Lin Tian picked up a steel bar and hammered it into the plank, only creating a few small dents. Everyone, let's begin. Lin Tian smiled. He stood up and hung the plank on the wall about 4 or 5 meters away. Everyone, watch carefully. Lin Tian sat down and smiled. He possessed comprehensive martial arts skills, including sonic attacks. Millions of people stared wide-eyed at their phones. Ding! Lin Tian plucked a string. and an invisible sonic attack erupted instantly. Bang! A loud bang rang out, and a deep, 3 or 4 inch long knife mark suddenly appeared in the middle of the wooden board that had been hanging there perfectly fine. Holy crap, what's going on? Wife, come quick, see God. Many viewers watching the live stream nearly popped their eyes out. The wooden board was fine, and it hadn't suffered any other attacks. A deep knife mark had simply appeared out of nowhere. This time, 2 strikes. Lin Tian chuckled, quickly plucking 2 more strings. Bang, bang, 2 more knife marks appeared on the wooden board. 1 more, Lin Tian said, directly stroking forward, plucking all 7 strings, and 7 invisible attacks slammed into the wooden board. The over 1 inch thick wooden board shattered into pieces. Family members, this is quite dangerous. I don't recommend anyone follow suit. That's all for today's live stream. He really is. I'm crying my eyes out. The streamer cares so much about us. I'd like to follow suit, but I'd risk my life. Master Lin. Everyone, just bear with it. I don't believe your nonsense. Such a thick wooden board was chopped into pieces, and you call that just bearable? Lin Tian went live, and the live stream went black. But most people didn't leave the live stream. The chat exploded with comments, and countless gifts poured in. 950, 960, 970. 10 million. Zhang Han stared excitedly at Lin Tian's live stream. The donations had stagnated, but Lin Tian's next move was so unexpected that it completely broke everyone's nerves. With a sonic attack from 4 or 5 meters away shattering a wooden board more than an inch thick, Zhang Han already sensed that Lin Tian was about to become a trending topic. However, this move is something no one can really follow. Just like the netizens said, are you risking your life to follow? Even a martial arts master might not know how to play the zither or use sound attacks. Boss, you're getting so excited, it's like this is a reward for you. A person next to Zhang Han chuckled. Zhang Han glanced at the other person. We discovered Master Lin first. The further he goes, the more bonus our group will get. You kid, I don't think you want the bonus this year. The other person quickly begged for forgiveness. Boss, I was wrong. Zhang Han said. Keep a close eye on him. Don't let anyone cause trouble in Master Lin's live stream. Anyone who dares to cause trouble will be sent to a plane ticket. Report serious cases to me for account banning. Several people around him nodded quickly. They were now also super moderators, somewhere in southwest China. Dad, is Master Lin faking it, or is his skill genuine? A young man in training clothes asked. A middle-aged man next to him, who had just watched Lin Tian's livestream, glanced at his son. If you were in his shoes, a top master of both the Gukan and Erhu, would you fake it? No. The young man shook his head. Why fake it? It would ruin his reputation. The middle-aged man said. Then that's settled. You can't even do that? Do you think Master Lin's IQ is lower than yours? The young man chuckled sheepishly. Dad, didn't I inherit my intelligence from you? The middle-aged man looked around. Where did he put his stick? Dad, I was wrong. You're a martial arts master. I wanted you to talk about it from a professional perspective. Has Master Lin's martial arts reached the master level? The young man quickly admitted his mistake and changed the subject. Isn't that obvious? Internal energy only begins to develop in the mid-stage of dark force. He can project his internal energy through the Gukan, so his internal energy has definitely reached the level of a martial arts master. He looks quite relaxed. He's likely more than just an early stage master. His chances of becoming a martial arts grandmaster are not low, the middle-aged man said in a deep voice. A look of envy appeared in his eyes. He reached the martial arts master level at 52, which was quite good nationwide, but he never achieved the grandmaster level in his lifetime. Dad, grandmasters are like Zhang Sanfeng in TV dramas, godlike figures. Does Master Lin really have a chance to become a grandmaster? The young man asked incredulously. The middle-aged man nodded. If he were only in his 30s, he certainly had a chance to become a grandmaster, but reaching Zhang Sanfeng's level would be difficult. There are differences between grandmasters. Give him a little something. Maybe he can give you some pointers later. The young man coughed lightly. Next time. He's already finished his stream. Even though you can give a tip now that the screen is black, it's like wearing fine clothes in the dark. Can't he see it in the back end? He should be able to. Then that's settled. The sooner the better. The young man quickly gave Lin Tian 100 super rockets, totaling 100,000 yuan, which he could afford. His family was a martial arts family. His father and grandfather both practiced martial arts. Although they couldn't compare to top business families, their family assets were still considerable. Knowing that Master Lin might be a martial arts master, many martial artists in China were watching the live stream, and many of them gave tips. If Master Lin really became a grandmaster in the future, it would be good to establish a good relationship first. Guidance from a grandmaster would be something they desperately wanted. Currently, there are no grandmasters openly in the Chinese martial arts world. Whether there are grandmasters in secret or not, they don't know. If Master Lin becomes a grandmaster, he might be the only one openly recognized. The path of martial arts, even for martial arts masters, is unclear after reaching a certain level. They need guidance. Dad, do you think Master Lin has a grandmaster behind him? He's not that old. Without a powerful master to guide him, can he really become a martial arts master in his 30s through self-study? The young man asked with some doubt. The middle-aged man said calmly, "You finally thought of that. If he has a martial arts grandmaster behind him, his influence is even greater." The young man said, "But when he first started live streaming, he dressed very plainly. If he had a grandmaster's support, his living conditions shouldn't be like that." The middle-aged man said in a deep voice, "To progress in martial arts, one must control material desires. Indulging in pleasure will ruin you, just like you." The young man, the middle-aged man pondered, purely. Self-control alone might not be enough for him to wait until his 30s to begin showcasing his true strength. He might really have a grandmaster behind him. Even if he doesn't, his father or master must be a formidable martial arts master. Remember, Master Lin is someone you can only befriend, not offend. The young man pouted, "Dad, I'm not stupid. He's already a triple master. How will I survive if I offend him? He might become a grandmaster in more than one area in the future." "A double grandmaster, Dad, you'll have to bow respectfully every time you see him, hee." The middle-aged man nodded. "Even if he only becomes a grandmaster in one area, I'll still have to address him politely as Grandmaster Lin." "All right, you've rested for so long, go practice. You're not allowed to go out and fool around until you reach the dark strength level." The young man was dumbfounded. He had reached the perfected bright strength level, but who knew when he would reach the dark strength level? The days ahead were going to be tough. 11.8 million in tips. The number of followers has reached 19.3 million. The live stream ended completely. Lin Tian could hardly believe it. A single live stream had garnered over 11.8 million in tips. He would receive 70% of that 11.8 million. That 70% wouldn't be entirely his. Yin would withhold 20% of the tax, but his income was too high. He would definitely have to pay back taxes at the end of the year. Including the back taxes, he would probably only get about half of the tip money. That's not a small amount. Lin Tian didn't intend to try to evade taxes like some celebrities do. "Adding to what I had before, it's a lot of small change." Lin Tian muttered to himself. The backend shows the total gift amount has reached 16 million, and he can withdraw 70% of it next month. Master Lin's live stream showcases his amazing skills once again. Shocking. Master Lin's livestream donations exceeded 10 million. Confirmed. Master Lin is a master in Guqin, Erhu, and martial arts. Several messages about Lin Tian quickly became trending topics on Weibo. This naturally attracted many netizens to click and watch. Sound attack shatters wooden boards from 4 or 5 meters away. Damn, if I had known Master Lin would display such amazing skills, I wouldn't have bothered going to work. I'll definitely take a day off next time Master Lin does a livestream. A triple master, amazing. Trendy on Weibo, trending on Huayin, Chinese music platform, and with related videos being frantically shared in various groups. Lin Tian's popularity exploded. Under these circumstances, his followers easily surpassed 20 million, and the number of likes and comments on his previous videos also increased significantly. Many people even went to appreciate his previous videos. Luckily, Huayin kept Lin Tian's information well hidden. Otherwise, with such popularity, his personal information would definitely have been exposed. Open black lens bracket. Who is Master Lin? Close black lens bracket. Soon after, a new trending topic emerged. Of the 10 trending topics on Weibo, Lin Tian occupied 4. Damn, some celebrities bought traffic, hoping to get on the trending topics, but they were quickly pushed down by Lin Tian. So what if he has 20 million followers? He's just an internet celebrity. And he wears a mask. His appearance might scare away many fans. Some celebrities felt envious. Lin Tian didn't care much about what was said online, how many trending topics it made, or how many followers he gained. He didn't pay attention after the live stream. To him, nothing was more important than finding treasure chests. I still have videos to post every day. Should I look for treasure chests? Lin Tian muttered to himself. He drove to a crowded area in S City. He drove around for 2 or 3 hours, seeing tens of thousands of people, but he didn't find a single treasure chest. I'll try a university campus tomorrow. The day after tomorrow, I'll try the busiest subway station. Oh right, there's Disneyland. There are always a lot of people there. I can try looking for treasure chests at the entrance. Lin Tian thought to himself. If he still couldn't find any treasure chests, he would have to give up and focus on exploiting Luo Bingning. Beep beep, his phone rang. Luo Bingning was calling. Lin Tian pulled over before answering the call. Lin Tian, do you have time? Could you pick someone up from the airport? I have a very important meeting and can't get away. Luo Bingning said somewhat apologetically. Lin Tian smiled and said, didn't I tell you? I'm a salesman. My schedule is quite flexible. Who would I need to pick up? My grandfather. He didn't even tell my dad. He bought a plane ticket and came to S City on his own. He's mainly here to see you. Luo Bingning said. Lin Tian's heart tightened slightly. Luo Bingning's grandfather? Luo Bingning's grandfather was very supportive of their relationship, but his support was somewhat influenced by what happened back then. Now that they were actually married, Luo Bingning's grandfather might have some regrets. Bingning, doesn't your grandfather have bodyguards? Lin Tian asked Yi Huoda. Luo Bingning said, he usually has bodyguards with him when he goes out, but this time he left quietly, deliberately avoiding them. He used to be a reconnaissance soldier. Even though his health isn't what it used to be, if he deliberately avoids them, the bodyguards really can't do anything. Lin Tian, don't worry, Grandpa is very supportive of our marriage. Lin Tian chuckled, Bingning, are you worried? If we really get married, your grandpa might regret it. Why am I worried? I'll send you the flight information. Go pick up Grandpa. I'll get off work early later, and you can take him home for dinner. Luo Bingning hung up the phone quickly after speaking. After hanging up, she was a little lost in thought. They got married. Could her grandpa really regret it now? She didn't really want to divorce Lin Tian right now. She should at least wait 3 years and see, right? It shouldn't be that bad. Grandpa will most likely come to see how we're doing, to see if I've been wronged. Luo Bingning thought to herself. She quickly sent the flight information to Lin Tian, who drove to the airport. By the time he arrived, the flight was almost landing. Sigh, as the plane landed, Luo Bingning's grandfather, Luo Yongqin, sighed softly. His expression was complicated. Years ago, he and Lin Tian's grandfather had arranged a marriage for their younger generation, and given what happened afterward, he felt indebted to the Lin family. Therefore, he insisted that Luo Bingning and Lin Tian marry. But since Luo Bingning and Lin Tian had actually married and moved in together, he had been suffering from insomnia for over a week, and his sleep quality had been very poor. Luo Bingning is his beloved granddaughter. What if Luo Bingning and Lin Tian are unhappy in their marriage? Lin Tian may be a bit ordinary, but he's a good kid. I hope he and Bingning haven't had any conflicts. Luo Yongqin muttered to himself. After getting off the plane, he walked quite a distance through the airport before reaching the exit. Lin Tian spotted Luo Yongqin immediately. Luo Bingning naturally sent Luo Yongqin's photo as well. Grandpa Luo, I'm Lin Tian. Lin Tian approached Luo Yongqin and said. Luo Yongqin was stunned, staring at Lin Tian in disbelief. He had Lin Tian's information and his photo. Lin Tian's height was about the same as in the information, but his appearance was quite different from the photo he had received. Lin Tian used to be just somewhat handsome. And without grooming, he wasn't even remotely handsome. Now, Lin Tian is undeniably a handsome man. Lin, where's Bingning? Luo Yongqin suppressed his surprise. Lin Tian smiled and said, Bingning had an important meeting and couldn't get away, so she asked me to pick you up. She'll go home and cook after her meeting, so we should be able to eat when we get home. Okay, Luo Yongqin nodded. Lin Tian led Luo Yongqin to the parking lot. Lin, how's your driving? You'd better drive a little faster. My whereabouts might have been exposed. There are people watching here. Luo Yongqin frowned after getting into the car. Lin Tian was surprised. Luo Yongqin truly lived up to his reputation as a veteran detective. He, a martial arts master, had discovered it, and Luo Yongqin had also discovered it. Grandpa Luo, things are different these days. Now, even if your phone isn't turned off, it acts as a GPS tracker. Your plane ticket purchases could also be intercepted by hackers, Lin Tian said as he started the car. It was my carelessness. You need to try your best to shake off the people following us. If you can't, don't go back yet. Let's find a hotel to stay in, Luo Yongqin said. Grandpa Luo, as long as you don't get carsick, it's fine. Lin Tian stepped on the gas, and the car sped off. A few dozen meters away, another car closely followed them out of the parking lot. Boom! It was a little past 5 o'clock, and the traffic was a bit heavy, but Lin Tian pressed the accelerator hard, and the car weaved quickly through the traffic. Damn, the people following them quickly gave up in frustration. Little Lin, your driving skills are pretty good. How many years of driving experience do you have? Luo Yongqin asked with some surprise. His information didn't include that. Lin Tian smiled. Grandpa Luo, I don't have many years of experience. I only bought this car a week ago, and I've only been driving for a week. Luo Yongqin silently gripped the handrail beside him. Grandpa Luo, are the people secretly following you planning a kidnapping? If so, they're incredibly audacious. Luo Yongqin shook his head slightly. Most likely not. It's hard to say for sure. The business world is like a battlefield. There are all sorts of messy things. Avoid these kinds of things if possible. The Luo family has hundreds of billions in assets. It's inevitable that tigers, leopards, and wolves will be eyeing them. Little Lin, you and Bingning have been married for over a week. How are things? You two haven't had any conflicts, have you? Lin Tian smiled. Bingning and I are doing fine. Grandpa Luo, you should probably bring bodyguards when you go out in the future. Better safe than sorry. Luo Yongqin nodded slightly. I've been retired for a few years, and I didn't expect anyone would still be watching this old man like me, trying to get secrets from me. Little Lin, you can slow down a bit. Lin Tian slowed down, and Luo Yongqin breathed a slight sigh of relief. Little Lin, are your parents all right? Why don't you talk to your dad later and tell him not to be as stubborn as your grandfather? Luo Yongqin said somewhat helplessly. He had considered helping Lin Tian's parents after his grandfather's death, but Lin Tian's father refused, refusing both the money and the job offered. Lin Tian smiled. Grandpa Luo, I can't easily persuade him. Let Bingning talk to him later. That should be more effective. Luo Yongqin sighed. Your father and grandfather were both stubborn mules. When your grandfather died, I was sick and hospitalized and couldn't go. I sent someone with a 5 million check for his funeral, but he refused to accept it. Lin Tian was somewhat surprised. He hadn't expected such a thing. His own father hadn't accepted such wealth. Such a large sum of money. Not many could resist the temptation. If his father had accepted the money, there might not have been his engagement to Luo Bingning, and he wouldn't have been able to farm the treasure chest. Lin, Bingning mentioned a 3-year marriage plan to you? Luo Yongqin inquired. Lin Tian nodded slightly. Yes, she mentioned it from the beginning. Luo Yongqin pondered. Lin, if you two like each other, Grandpa Luo will fully support you. If you're not so fond of each other, ending it a year earlier will get you 10 million from Grandpa Luo. Lin Tian shook his head. Luo Yongqin frowned secretly. Lin Tian said, Grandpa Luo, I quite like Bingning, but if she thinks we're not suitable, we can get a divorce anytime. I don't want the money. Luo Yongqin was taken aback. He said helplessly, I just said your grandpa and your dad are stubborn mules. Well, you're the same. If you two really aren't suitable, you should leave a year or two earlier, get 10 or 20 million, and your and your parents' lives will improve a lot. Lin Tian smiled faintly. Grandpa Luo, I can earn the money myself. Luo Yongqin, that's what your grandpa said back then, and your father said the same thing. When I said I'd give your grandpa 1 million, good heavens, he grabbed a carrying pole and was about to hit me. Luckily, I ran fast. A look of sorrowful reminiscence appeared in Luo Yongqin's eyes. Lin Tian chuckled and said, Grandpa Luo, I'm different from my grandpa and my dad. If I really got together with Bingning, I'd happily be a kept man. Being a kept man is so delicious. Just give me the money. Luo Yongqin was speechless for a moment. After a while, Luo Yongqin asked, Xiao Lin, Bingning's parents object to you two being together. What do you think about that? Lin Tian chuckled. That's normal. As parents, they certainly want their daughter to marry well. Luo Yongqin nodded slightly. It's good that you think that way. Don't let this affect family harmony. Focus on driving. I'm going to take a nap since I didn't sleep at noon. More than an hour later, Lin Tian drove back to the apartment complex. As soon as he and Luo Yongqin entered, they smelled a strong fragrance. Grandpa, Luo Bingning was overjoyed to see Luo Yongqin. She was the only son in 3 generations of the Luo family. She was absolutely the apple of Luo Yongqin's eye. Luo Yongqin had always doted on her since she was little. Xiao Ning, Luo Yongqin smiled broadly. His health wasn't very good, and he had traveled alone by plane, which had been quite tiring. Seeing Luo Bingning made him feel much less tired. Darling, you've worked hard, Luo Bingning said to Lin Tian with a smile. Luo Yongqin felt a little strange. Luo Bingning was actually calling Lin Tian so affectionately, and she didn't seem to be in any difficulty. It was just driving Grandpa Luo around, nothing tiring. Lin Tian smiled. Luo Bingning giggled. Then you two hurry up and wash your hands and eat. Soon the 3 of them sat down at the table. Luo Bingning had prepared 5 dishes, a rather sumptuous meal for the 3 of them. Bingning, is something missing? Luo Yongqin coughed lightly. Luo Bingning said coquettishly, Grandpa, you're short a bottle of wine, aren't you? Mom and Dad specifically called to tell you not to drink. Luo Yongqin sighed helplessly. Lin Tian smiled and said, Bingning, get a bottle of wine. I'll have a couple of drinks with Grandpa. Okay. Luo Bingning obediently got up and went to the wine cabinet to get a bottle. Luo Yongqin's eyes widened. What's going on? His words don't carry as much weight as Lin Tian's. Bingning, it seems Grandpa has spoiled you for nothing all these years. You've only been married for less than 2 weeks, and you're already listening to Lin Tian even more. Luo Yongqin said with a hint of resentment. Luo Bingning said irritably, Grandpa, are you going to drink or not? Yes, of course I'll drink. Luo Yongqin quickly replied. At home, his son, daughter-in-law, and the doctor forbade him to drink. He wasn't a heavy drinker, but he liked to have a couple of drinks. Luo Bingning quickly poured wine for Luo Yongqin and Lin Tian. Grandpa, do you think I listened to Lin Tian? His medical skills are excellent. He said he felt comfortable having a couple of drinks with you. Luo Bingning smiled. Luo Yongqin asked in surprise, Lin Tian, are you a very skilled doctor? A little. Lin Tian chuckled. Grandpa Luo, let me toast you. I'll finish mine. You can drink as you please. You can only drink 2 glasses, don't drink too fast. Lin Tian said, downing his drink in 1 gulp. The glass wasn't large, containing only about 1.5 ounces of liquor. Luo Yongqin took a small sip. Little Lin, your medical skills are more than just a little. The family doctor is quite skilled, but Bingning seems to trust you more. Luo Yongqin said thoughtfully. Luo Bingning said, Grandpa, don't listen to Lin Tian's nonsense. He's far more than just a little. Even experts in major hospitals might not be as good as him. If you hadn't come, I was planning to fly to the capital with Lin Tian. Luo Yongqin was even more surprised. Lin Tian's medical skills are even better than those of specialists in major hospitals? Lin Tian, how is my grandfather's health? Luo Bingning looked at Lin Tian and asked. Lin Tian smiled. I haven't taken Grandpa Luo's pulse yet, but judging from his breathing and complexion, he seems to be fine. Let's talk about that after dinner. Luo Bingning nodded, letting out a long sigh of relief. Luo Yongqin was surprised. Luo Bingning actually trusted Lin Tian's medical skills so much. She was relieved that he said there was nothing seriously wrong. Grandpa, try this. Lin Tian, you try some too. Luo Bingning served food to Luo Yongqin and Lin Tian. After the meal, Luo Yongqin felt quite strange. In just over a week, Luo Bingning had become so friendly towards Lin Tian. Could they have slept together? If a man and woman have slept together, it's normal for the relationship to progress rapidly. Grandpa Luo, please sit down. Let me take your pulse. Lin Tian smiled. Luo Yongqin coughed lightly. Little Lin, I only had 3 liang, 150 milliliters, of liquor, while you just drank 7 liang, 350 milliliters, of baijiu. Let's take your pulse tomorrow. Luo Bingning giggled beside him. Grandpa, don't worry, Lin Tian has a very high alcohol tolerance. He can drink 3 or 4 gin, 1.5 minus 2.5 kilograms, without any problem. 7 liang of Baiju shouldn't have any effect on him. Luo Yongqin clicked his tongue inwardly. Goodness, Lin Tian's capacity is enormous. Little Lin, thank you for your trouble. Luo Yongqin extended his hand. Lin Tian placed his fingers on Luo Yongqin's pulse point. He removed his hand in just half a minute. Grandpa Luo, you were injured in your youth, and these old injuries have left you weak and powerless. When the weather changes, you feel pain all over your body, and your hands and feet are usually a little numb, but other than that, there's nothing seriously wrong. Luo Yongqin nodded. That's true. Lin Tian, can you treat it? Luo Bingning asked anxiously from the side. Lin Tian smiled. I already said it's not a big problem, of course I can treat it. However, treating old injuries takes a bit longer. How long? Luo Bingning asked. Lin Tian thought for a moment. About a month. It will require several acupuncture sessions, then 2 courses of medication, along with some exercise. Little Lin, are you sure it'll be better in a month? Luo Yongqin said with delight. A month is far from long. For the past 20 years or so, he's had to take medication every year, and even so, his health has steadily declined. Lin Tian nodded. Your illness wasn't a big problem to begin with. Luo Bingning asked happily, Lin Tian, can you start treating Grandpa now? Lin Tian replied, let's start tomorrow. Grandpa Luo, you should rest well first. Recovery takes a lot of energy. Grandpa Luo, you've come all this way today. It must have been tiring. It's not a very urgent illness, so starting tomorrow shouldn't be a problem. Luo Yongqin nodded. As long as he recovers, a day or 2 won't make a difference. Bingning, you talk to Grandpa Luo. Lin Tian finished speaking and got up to wash the dishes. Luo Bingning cooking while he washes the dishes. This was something they had agreed upon beforehand. Bingning, you accompany Grandpa for a walk downstairs. I've been on a plane and in a car all day, my butt's numb. Luo Yongqin and Luo Bingning went out. The 2 went downstairs, and Luo Yongqin chuckled. Bingning, tell Grandpa, what are the chances that Lin Tian will become my grandson-in-law? Luo Bingning blushed, and said coquettishly, why do you ask that? We're married, isn't he already your grandson-in-law? You know what Grandpa means. Luo Yongqin smiled slightly, if you don't tell me, Grandpa's getting senile and he won't know whether he should continue to support you too. Your parents are still very opposed. 50-50, I guess. Luo Bingning whispered. Luo Yongqin looked at Luo Bingning in surprise. Lin Tian and Luo Bingning had only been married for about 10 days, and Luo Bingning actually thought there was a 50% chance they would stay together. Bingning, you haven't already slept with Lin Tian, have you? Luo Bingning's face instantly turned bright red. Grandpa, how could that be? Of course not, we just held hands. We're married now, we can't not even let him hold hands. Luo Yongqin was puzzled. Just holding hands, and things can't progress this fast. Grandpa, Lin Tian may seem ordinary on the surface, but he's very talented. He's a first-class athlete at running, and a fast swimmer. A few days ago, he rescued a child from the sea. His Guqin playing is at a professional level 10. His medical skills are even more remarkable. At the orphanage, he treated 3 children, and later at the hospital. Luo Bingning helped Luo Yongqin walk slowly forward, recounting some of Lin Tian's achievements in detail. Luo Yongqin listened, stunned. This was completely different from what he knew. Is it really the same person? Bingning, according to you, Lin Tian is indeed quite good. Luo Yongqin said. Luo Bingning nodded. Your granddaughter isn't bad either. Whether we'll be together in the future depends on his performance, HMPH. Luo Yongqin muttered to himself. Lin Tian is probably my future grandson-in-law. It's only been 10 days. Luo Bingning was now quite curious about Lin Tian. A woman's curiosity about a man is often the beginning of her descent into infatuation. Bingning, on the way here, Grandpa told him that if you 2 don't get along, and you divorce a year in advance, Grandpa will give him 10 million. 2 years in advance, Grandpa will give him 20 million. Luo Bingning's heart tightened. Would Lin Tian just take 30 million and leave? With that much money, he could find plenty of pretty young girls. Grandpa, please don't do anything rash. We'll handle our own affairs. Luo Bingning said sullenly. Luo Yongqin smiled. Lin Tian refused. He said you can get a divorce anytime you want. He's taken a liking to you anyway. If you divorce, he won't take any money. The slight annoyance in Luo Bingning's heart instantly vanished. Grandpa, I promised for 3 years, and I definitely won't get a divorce within 3 years. You don't need to worry about me. I'm fine. Luo Yongqin smiled. If you two get along well, Grandpa is relieved. Just don't blame Grandpa because of this engagement. No, Luo Bingning shook her head. This is my own choice. The next day arrived in the blink of an eye. After breakfast, Luo Bingning didn't rush to work. She looked expectantly at Lin Tian, waiting for him to treat Luo Yongqin. Bingning, look, Grandpa Luo is your grandpa, so I can't charge you. How about you call me, good husband, to offset the medical expenses? Luo Yongqin went to the bathroom, and Lin Tian whispered, you're taking advantage of him. Luo Bingning rolled her eyes at Lin Tian. Lin Tian smiled and said, calling me will make me feel much better, and I can treat your grandfather better when I'm in a better state. You naughty guy. Bingning, Grandpa Luo should be out soon. Luo Bingning looked sulky. Good husband, she still called out, her voice barely louder than a mosquito's buzz. Lin Tian shook his head. Did you call him? I didn't hear you. Bingning, you're not usually this shy. Good husband, okay? Luo Bingning said coquettishly. Luo Yongqin came out of the bathroom. He looked at Luo Bingning suspiciously. Why was Luo Bingning's face so red? Lin Tian, hurry up and treat Grandpa. I have to rush to work after I finish watching you treat him. Luo Bingning said quickly. Lin Tian smiled and said, Grandpa Luo, please lie down on the bed. Soon, Luo Yongqin lay down, and Lin Tian took out long silver needles, inserting them deeply into Luo Yongqin's body. Luo Bingning watched in horror. The deepest needles were 3 or 4 inches deep. Grandpa Luo, you have qi stagnation in your body. Qi stagnation is originally just a deficiency syndrome, but if it's left untreated for a long time, it will transform into an excess syndrome, and your symptoms will become more and more obvious. These symptoms of qi stagnation cannot be detected by instruments. When qi stagnation transforms into excess, there will be various manifestations. Western medicine only treats those manifestations, but it cannot truly eradicate the root cause of your illness. Lin Tian explained while gently flicking the silver needles. Luo Bingning said, Lin Tian, Grandpa has seen many traditional Chinese medicine doctors. If Western medicine can't find it, why can't traditional Chinese medicine? Lin Tian smiled. Grandpa Luo's symptoms are generally undetectable by traditional Chinese medicine doctors, and even if they could, they might not be able to solve the problem. Initially, some traditional Chinese medicine doctors might have been able to solve it, but at that time Luo Yongqin was still young and didn't feel there was anything seriously wrong. Later, his condition worsened, and the difficulty of treatment increased exponentially. Hey, Lin Tian, why is this silver needle constantly vibrating? Luo Bingning looked at a silver needle that Lin Tian had just handled. Lin Tian said, this is a vibrating needle, it's normal. He had infused a trace of internal energy into the silver needle. With the assistance of internal energy in needling, the acupuncture effect was much better. It feels tingly and numb, Luo Yongqin said. Lin Tian smiled and said, Grandpa Luo, after one acupuncture session, you'll feel much better, and the numbness will disappear. 4 or 5 acupuncture sessions, 2 weeks of medication, and 10 days of walking and exercise daily should be enough. After about 10 minutes, using acupuncture and internal energy, Lin Tian helped Luo Yongqin expel a significant amount of stagnant energy and clear some meridians. Bingning, get some tissues. Lin Tian instructed. Luo Bingning quickly brought tissues. Lin Tian removed the needles, and using his internal energy to draw out a drop of black stagnant blood along with the silver needle. Most of the dozen or so silver needles had stagnant blood drained. Grandpa Luo, get up and move around to feel it. Lin Tian smiled. Luo Yongqin got up and moved around. A look of shock appeared in his eyes. He felt much lighter, and the numbness in his hands and feet was gone. Xiao Lin, you're amazing. With your acupuncture skills, you deserve the title of a divine doctor. With this skill, you could easily gain both fame and fortune. Luo Yongqin exclaimed in utter amazement. Lin Tian shook his head. Grandpa Luo, being a miracle doctor isn't easy. Even if I had a medical license, how would I charge for treatment? If you charge too much, Many people who can't afford medical care will complain. If you charge too little, you'll work yourself to death and easily get into trouble. Patients might die for various reasons, but if they receive treatment from me, the chances of them trying to extort money from me won't be low. Luo Yongqin sighed slightly. These days, the farmer and the snake story is indeed quite common. You can help someone on the street, and even with CCTV evidence proving your innocence, you can still get extorted. I can live off a woman. I don't need to earn this money, Bingning, don't you think? Lin Tian looked at Luo Bingning and chuckled. Luo Bingning rolled her eyes at Lin Tian. Lin Tian, the way you put it, it's like being a kept man is something to be proud of. That depends on what kind of kept man. If I had a 60-year-old girlfriend, that wouldn't be so glorious. Owning your kept man, others can only be envious, Lin Tian said matter-of-factly. Luo Bingning. Luo Yongqin chuckled as he watched Lin Tian and the others. With Lin Tian's shamelessness, he knew Luo Bingning was doomed. Simply being shameless is shameless, but Lin Tian was genuinely capable. Capable plus shameless, simply invincible. I'm not talking to you anymore, I'm going to work. You said your job is very flexible, so why don't you spend some time with Grandpa? If you cure him, Grandpa will give you extra pay later. Luo Bingning turned and left the room. Lin Tian followed her out of the room. A bronze treasure chest appeared above Luo Bingning's head. Bingning, you said you'd let me examine you, but I haven't yet. Shall I examine you now? Lin Tian deliberately leaned closer to Luo Bingning and asked in a low voice. His head touched the bronze treasure chest on Luo Bingning's head. Grandpa's still here. I'll let you examine me after Grandpa leaves. Luo Bingning blushed and hurriedly left. Lin Tian now possessed master-level ancient medical skills. Perhaps he could examine her by taking her pulse, but why take her pulse when he could press her stomach? He'd take advantage of his wife if he could. Ding, bronze treasure chest opened. Congratulations, host, you have obtained master-level foreign language skills. Includes 9 major foreign languages: English, Russian, French, German, Japanese, Korean, Arabic, Portuguese, and Spanish. The system's voice sounded in Lin Tian's mind. A massive amount of information flooded into his head. Even for a martial arts master like Lin Tian, processing it was difficult. Phew, 5 minutes passed, and Lin Tian let out a long breath. Good heavens, I've gained 9 foreign languages all at once. A look of delight appeared in Lin Tian's eyes. These are very useful. He can now translate all 9 languages simultaneously without any problems. Looks like if I want to get the treasure chest, I'll still have to find a way through Bingning. Teasing her occasionally will greatly increase the treasure chest drop rate, Lin Tian muttered to himself. Little Lin, I'm going downstairs to stretch my legs now, is that alright? I haven't felt this comfortable in the last 10 years. Luo Yongqin came out of the room and asked. Lin Tian laughed, of course, no problem. Grandpa Luo, how about I show you around S-City? Given your health, you probably haven't had a proper trip in years. That would be great, Luo Yongqin chuckled. Throughout the day, Lin Tian took Luo Yongqin to many places. He met countless people, but still, they didn't find the treasure chest. Lin Tian had basically given up hope. The chances of finding the treasure chest from other people were extremely slim. Riza, the rest is up to you. Lin Tian drove home. A man in the car following behind spoke in Japanese, then signaled to turn. Iki-kun, Luo Yongqin is just an old man. He's unlikely to be a member of the Dragon Group. Aren't the higher-ups overthinking things? Riza, never doubt the organization. Luo Yongqin rarely comes out. Record everything you see and hear, understand? Understood. Another car on the side of the road started up and followed Lin Tian's car. A glint of light flashed in Lin Tian's eyes. The other party thought he was being very cautious and wouldn't be discovered, but he was a Grandmaster-level expert. They were talking with the windows closed, yet Lin Tian could hear them clearly. If it were before today, Lin Tian wouldn't have understood even if he heard them, but that morning he had acquired a Grandmaster-level foreign language skill. Japanese was among them. Grandpa Luo is a member of the Dragon Group? Lin Tian wondered to himself. Luo Yongqin was just an ordinary person. If he really was a member of the Dragon Group, this Dragon Group shouldn't be the kind of military organization depicted in novels. It might be something like the Skull and Bones Society in the United States. What forces does the Dragon Group possess? What are its goals? Japan has a blood feud with China. so they would definitely be very wary and worried. Little Lin, it's been a long time since I've taken a stroll around like this. Thank you for today. Driving into the underground parking lot of the residential complex, Luo Yongqin said with a smile. Grandpa Luo, we're family. There's no need to thank me. Lin Tian smiled. Haha, you're right. I think there's a high chance you and Bingning will stay together. Luo Yongqin laughed heartily. The two went upstairs to their home. Luo Bingning was already back, cooking. After putting down her phone, Lin Tian and Luo Yongqin went to the room. Grandpa Luo, do you know about the Dragon Group? Lin Tian asked. Luo Yongqin's pupils contracted slightly, and his heart beat faster. His expression didn't change, but Lin Tian was basically certain he knew. Or rather, Luo Yongqin was a member of the Dragon Group. Little Lin, how do you know about the Dragon Group? Luo Yongqin stared intently at Lin Tian and asked in a deep voice. Lin Tian said, Grandpa Luo, someone was following us today, and someone even mentioned the Dragon Group in Japanese. They suspect you're a member. Perhaps they want to use you to identify the other Dragon Group members. Luo Yongqin was silent for a moment before saying, Lin, the Dragon Group is a patriotic organization with considerable power. There are some things the government can't easily intervene in, so the Dragon Group has done some things secretly, naturally offending some countries and forces. Don't ask any more questions, don't get involved. Lin Tian smiled. Grandpa Luo, I'm just reminding you to be careful when you're out and about. I have no interest in getting involved in these things. Luo Yongqin nodded slightly. Now that I know I'm being watched, I'll definitely be more careful when I go out. Lin, do you speak Japanese? Lin Tian chuckled. I know a little bit of most foreign languages. Luo Yongqin looked at Lin Tian in surprise. Which ones? English, German, French, Russian, Japanese, Korean, Arabic, Spanish, and Portuguese. That's all I know. Luo Yongqin. Lin Tian's use of the word only was well chosen. To the point of normal conversation? More or less. Luo Yongqin was astonished. Lin Tian actually knew 9 foreign languages. Add to that his medical skills and his proficiency on the Guqin. He was a genius. Does Bingning know you know 9 foreign languages? Lin Tian shook his head. She doesn't know I know foreign languages. Let her get to know me slowly. That'll keep things interesting. What if he just told her which ones he knew, and then she gained other abilities later? It would be better to cultivate a hide-and-seek persona. If he gains other abilities later and they are revealed, Luo Bingning won't suspect anything. Others won't suspect anything either. Isn't it normal for a hide-and-seek king to hide some abilities? Are you hiding other abilities? Luo Yongqin asked curiously. Lin Tian said awkwardly, yes, I'm hiding a little bit. Firearms shooting, martial arts, Erhu, a 2-stringed bowed instrument. Luo Yongqin knew nothing about them. His Guqin, a 7-stringed zither, mastery and driving skills were also unknown to Luo Yongqin. Grandpa Luo, please don't ask anymore. Enough has been revealed recently. Luo Yongqin looked at Lin Tian with a strange expression. It seems you're hiding more than one thing. Why are you being so low-key? Lin Tian smiled. Grandpa Luo, I'm afraid of being captured and dissected. Things have changed a bit now. Bingning and I are married. Revealing some things isn't a big problem. Luo Yongqin pondered for a moment and nodded slightly. Your caution isn't without reason. Top geniuses are easily assassinated by foreign powers. Western countries, Japan, etc., have done this many times. You can gradually increase your influence. When your influence is large enough, no force will dare to easily touch you. Lin Tian smiled. Currently, increasing his followers is one way to increase his influence. However, Lin Tian doesn't rely solely on this to protect himself. He's only been with Luo Bingning for about 10 days, and he's already gained quite a few benefits. He'll definitely get more treasure chests in the future. His combat strength could potentially be even higher. As a Grand Master, light weapons like pistols don't pose much of a threat to him now, but sniper rifles, bombs, and the like still pose a significant threat. But if he becomes a martial arts Grand Master, or even a cultivator, these things will pose a much smaller threat to him. Lin, this time when I came, someone might notice you. Luo Yongqin was a little worried. Lin Tian smiled. Grandpa Luo, don't worry, China is relatively safe. With what I've shown so far, it's not like someone would use assassination methods against me. Luo Yongqin nodded slightly. Luo Bingning's voice rang out from outside the door. Grandpa, Lin Tian, dinner's ready. Why are you locked in the room? Lin Tian and the others went out, giving Grandpa Luo an injection in the butt. It's inconvenient for you to watch. Lin Tian laughed. Luo Yongqin. After finishing their meal, Luo Bingning said, Lin Tian, shall we go to the hospital to see Uncle Tang? Uncle Tang has been transferred out of the ICU. Uncle Tang wants to see you and thank you in person. Your medical skills are amazing. Could you also check on Uncle Tang's condition? Lin Tian nodded. Luo Yongqin smiled. Bingning, you two go ahead. I'll clean up the dishes. Your grandma used to cook and I'd wash the dishes at our house. I've recovered quite a bit, so I'll get some exercise. Luo Bingning nodded. Grandpa, let's go then. Half an hour later, Lin Tian and the others arrived at the hospital. Tang Pengyuan was awake. And he seemed to be doing all right. Lin, thank you. If it weren't for you, I'm afraid I would have lost my life. Tang Pengyuan said gratefully. Without Lin Tian's help, the chances of him dying in the operating room wouldn't have been low, and even if he survived, he might have been assassinated by the thugs. Uncle Tang, it was nothing. Shall I take your pulse again? Lin Tian smiled. Tang Pengyuan quickly replied, then I'll trouble you. Lin Tian soon took Tang Pengyuan's pulse and said, Uncle Tang, you're recovering quite well. You should be able to get out of bed and walk around in 3 or 4 days. You'll be able to live a normal life for half a month without any problems, but it will probably take about 2 months for your strength to fully recover. Tang Pengyuan hesitated for a moment and said, 2 months to fully recover is a bit slow. Do you have any way to speed it up, Lin? Uncle Tang, shall I prescribe some tonics for you? If you keep taking them, it should shorten the time to about a month. Lin Tian thought for a moment and said. Tang Pengyuan's eyes lit up. You really have a way. That would be great. Speaking of which, Tang Pengyuan looked at Aunt Tang Yan beside him. Little Lin, there's 300,000 yuan in this card. It's a small token of our appreciation. The PIN is the last 6 digits of the card number. Aunt Tang Yan took out a bank card. Lin Tian quickly shook his head. Aunt Lu, you should know I'm married to Bingning. Bingning and Tang Yan are best friends. I can't accept this money. Tang Pengyuan persuaded. Little Lin, take it. Even close brothers need to keep clear accounts. You saved my life. My life is worth at least 100,000 or 2. Giving you 300,000, we'll still make a profit, haha. Lin Tian shook his head. Second Uncle Tang, if you say that, I'll leave. I won't prescribe the medicine for you. You should recover slowly. Luo Bingning smiled slightly. Aunt Lu, please put the bank card away. It's too formal for family. This. All right then. Aunt Tang Yan put the bank card away. Tang Pengyuan pondered for a moment, then said, Xiao Lin, how about I introduce you to a patient? You can earn quite a bit from that patient. Lin Tian shook his head. Second Uncle Tang, forget it. I treat patients based on fate. I don't like to rush into treating people. I don't even have a medical license. If I rush into treating people and something goes wrong, I can't bear the responsibility. At this moment, Dean Shi walked in from outside the ward. Xiao Lin, I'll help you get a medical license? With your medical skills, getting a license shouldn't be difficult, Dean Shi said. Lin Tian shook his head. Dean Shi, forget it. Not having a license is fine. I have a reason to refuse when people come to me. Dean Shi was somewhat speechless. There are actually people who deliberately don't want a medical license. Xiao Lin, there's a patient at our hospital who hasn't recovered after a long time of treatment. I recommended you to him. I wonder if you could take a look? Dean Shi coughed lightly. Lin Tian frowned slightly. Dean Shi said helplessly, Lin, can you help us? We're having a real headache with that patient. He initially sought treatment here, but it didn't work. He wandered around and came back. This place is close to his home. He's not the kind of person who causes trouble for medical staff, and he's very generous with money. But the problem is, we've consulted with various specialists, and nothing has worked. Lin Tian sighed and said, Dean Shi, I can go take a look, but please don't recommend me to other patients in the future, okay? I'm not a doctor. Dean Shi nodded repeatedly. I'll try my best. Doctors have a compassionate heart. Sometimes I feel bad for certain patients. Lin Tian looked at Luo Bingning. Luo Bingning smiled. Lin Tian, you go ahead. I'll stay here and chat with Aunt Lu and the others. Yanzi will be here later. Okay. Lin Tian followed Dean Shi away. Soon they arrived at another ward, a deluxe VIP ward. Dean Shi, could he be the miracle doctor you mentioned? An elderly man in his 50s or 60s asked doubtfully in the ward. Lin Tian was somewhat surprised. He recognized the elderly man in the ward. This man was undoubtedly a super-rich tycoon, a name that would make him a household name in China. His assets ranked at least among the top 20 nationwide. Chairman Zhao, that's him. Don't let his youth fool you. Deputy Director Tang was on the verge of death, but he easily resolved the crisis. Dean Shi smiled slightly. I had to beg him to come. Chairman Zhao, whose full name was Zhao Shonggulan, got out of bed and extended his hand. Hello, Drive. Lin, my name is Zhao Shonggulan. Thank you for your trouble. Lin Tian looked at Zhao Shonggulan. He said with interest, Chairman Zhao, your illness is quite interesting. Zhao Shonggulan looked at Dean Shi. Dean Shi quickly said, Chairman Zhao, I haven't revealed your condition to Xiao Lin. We maintain strict confidentiality regarding your illness. Zhao Shonggulan nodded. Dr. Lin, I've been to many hospitals, even abroad, but no one knows what's wrong with me. You could tell at a glance? Zhao Shonggulan was a little doubtful. Lin Tian smiled calmly, Mr. Zhao, your illness is quite obvious to me. I can see it at a glance. I don't even need to take your pulse. However, if you don't believe me, I'll leave. Zhao Shonggulan quickly said, Dr. Lin, of course I believe you. I'm just a little surprised that it hasn't healed for so long. Dr. Lin, if you can cure me, I'll give you 5 million yuan for your consultation. What's wrong with me? Lin Tian chuckled. In the countryside, your illness would be considered possession by evil spirits, but your condition is more serious. You can see ghosts. Zhao Shonggulan's face turned pale. That's true. Everyone says there are no ghosts in the world, but I've seen them for real. Some look alright, but some are terrifying. Lin Tian laughed. Chairman Zhao, there really aren't ghosts in the world. So-called ghosts are just spiritual energy entities. Humans have a high level of intelligence, so their spiritual energy entities are strong after death and can exist for a while. Pigs and dogs are rare ghosts. Fish and insects, those don't exist at all. Fear flashed in Zhao Shonggulan's eyes. Some of them will even pounce on me. Sometimes they'll climb on me while I'm asleep. Dean Shi, standing nearby, felt a chill run down his spine. Lin Tian said, the cause of death affects the spiritual energy body, and combined with the various influences of the surrounding environment, it's normal for it to be a bit scary. The environment is to them what dilute sulfuric acid is to us humans. A person entering dilute sulfuric acid would also become terrifying. As for them approaching you, even clinging to you, that's because of the magnetic field. Your magnetic field attracts them. Zhao Shonggulan said in a trembling voice, Drive. Lin, can you solve this? You don't know, sometimes waking up to see it can scare me half to death. It's much better to stay in the hospital. This doesn't happen there. Lin Tian chuckled. The chances of encountering these spiritual energy bodies are higher in hospitals, but the magnetic field is chaotic there. The chances of them approaching you are lower, and the chances of them sleeping with you are even lower. Dean Shi said, Chairman Zhao, no wonder you like being hospitalized. Little Lin, can you solve this? Lin Tian nodded slightly. Ancient medicine includes incantation techniques, and ancient medicine is also related to ancient witchcraft. The ancient medical texts he obtained contained information on this. Dr. Lin, if you can solve this, I'll transfer 5 million to you immediately. By the way, Drive. Lin, I've never had this problem before. Zhao Shonggulan said hurriedly. Lin Tian chuckled, it's normal. You might have been frightened, or perhaps you came into contact with something that slightly altered your magnetic field. I'll help you solve it first, but I must say, I don't know what you came into contact with. After it's resolved, you might relapse if you come into contact with it again. Zhao Shonggulan nodded. As long as it's resolved, the consultation fee will definitely not be small. Lin Tian looked at Dean Shi. Dean Shi, I need a calligraphy brush, some fresh chicken blood, and some white paper. Dean Shi nodded and quickly made a call to have something prepared. The item arrived shortly afterward. Lin Tian picked up a brush and focused intently on drawing the talisman. After drawing more than half, he sensed subtle energy fluctuations. As a martial arts grandmaster, he was highly sensitive to energy. Poof! Suddenly, the talisman burst into flames and quickly burned to ashes. Master Lin, This. Dean Shi and the others stared in disbelief. How could the paper suddenly burn? Lin Tian coughed lightly and said, "It's been a while since I've drawn one, so I'm a bit rusty." He had gained knowledge and experience from opening the treasure chest, but drawing this talisman required high skill. Even a Grand Master could fail. Lin Tian quickly started again. This time, he finally succeeded. "Chairman Zhao, wear this on your person for 2 or 3 days. It will change your magnetic field somewhat, and you won't see those things anymore. Actually, even if you see them, it's not a big deal. They can't harm you." Lin Tian smiled. Zhao Shanggulan was overjoyed. "Drive. Lin, they may not harm my body, but they severely torment my mind." "Dr. Lin, what's your bank account number?" Lin Tian gave him his bank account number. Zhao Shanggulan quickly transferred 5 million to Lin Tian's account. Lin Tian received a text message notification. "Chairman Zhao, we haven't verified the effect yet," Lin Tian said with some surprise. Zhao Shanggulan said, "I trust Dean Shi, and judging from your performance just now, drive." "Lin, I also believe what you say. Chairman Zhao, wearing this will prevent you from encountering this situation for the next 2 or 3 days. After that, it won't matter if you don't wear it. Please keep my medical skills a secret, Chairman Zhao." Lin Tian finished speaking and left. Dean Shi smiled and said, "Chairman Zhao, congratulations. You've solved a problem, and I won't have to worry about your affairs anymore. Young Lin is an extraordinary person. It's a pity I promised to help him get his medical license, but he didn't want it. I hoped he would join our hospital, but he has absolutely no interest." Zhao Shanggulan carefully put the talisman away. "How long will it take you to earn 5 million here? You can't look at experts with the same eyes you would an ordinary person." Dean Shi, "Thank you. Please process my discharge. I can finally go home and sleep." Lin Tian returned to Tang Pengyuan's ward. Tang Yan came over, and she chatted excitedly with Luo Bingning. "Lin Tian, how is it?" Luo Bingning asked. Lin Tian smiled. "It's resolved, Uncle Tang. We won't disturb your rest any longer. I'll have Bingning send the prescription to Tang Yan later. 1 dose each morning and evening is enough." Lin Tian and Luo Bingning left quickly. Tang Yan didn't leave. As his niece, she wanted to stay and keep Tang Pengyuan and the others company. "You're Bingning's best friend, but you shouldn't interfere in her and Lin Tian's affairs. Don't think Lin Tian isn't good enough for her," Tang Pengyuan said. But Tang Yan frowned slightly. Tang Pengyuan interrupted her. "No buts. Only the wearer knows if the shoe fits. Bingning isn't dissatisfied. They're already married. Better to tear down a temple than break up a marriage. Lin Tian has achieved so much at such a young age. That's already very good." Tang Yan looked sullen. Tang Yan's aunt, Lu Qin, grasped Tang Yan's hand. You don't actually like Bingning, do you? That's not good." "Ah, auntie, what are you saying? How could I like Bingning? I'm a girl, and she's a girl too," Tang Yan hurriedly said. Tang Pengyuan and Lu Qin exchanged a glance. Tang Yan might indeed have such tendencies. She had practiced martial arts since childhood, and her personality was somewhat like a boy's. And Luo Bingning was so beautiful. Bingning is your best friend, but she's married now. As her best friend, what you should do is wish her happiness." Lu Qin smiled, holding Tang Yan's hand. "Lin Tian saved your second uncle, and he saved you too. He's a great benefactor to our Tang family." Tang Yan weakly said, "Auntie, I'm really not a lesbian. I like handsome guys." Lu Qin muttered, "So, in your case, are you bisexual?" Tang Yan, "Bingning, should we hire a nanny?" Lin Tian asked as they drove away from the hospital. Luo Bingning asked in surprise, "Lin Tian, you were only gone for half an hour. Did you make 100,000 or 80,000? Lin Tian laughed. "You're too narrow-minded." "Huh?" Luo Bingning turned her head. "Did you make 1 million or 2? 5 million. Luo Bingning stared blankly at Lin Tian. Good heavens, Lin Tian had only been gone for half an hour and had already earned 5 million. Is making money this easy these days? That patient was on the Forbes list, but I won't say who he is. 5 million is a small amount of money for him." Lin Tian smiled slightly. Luo Bingning was surprised. He was actually a Forbes list figure. For him, 5 million was indeed not a large sum. Spending 5 million is worthwhile if it can solve my long-standing illness. Like my grandfather's illness, if someone could guarantee a cure, My family would be willing to pay 50 million. Should we hire a housekeeper? Lin Tian asked. Is my cooking not good? Luo Bingning huffed. Lin Tian shook his head. No, but you have to go to work and then cook when you get home. It'll probably be tiring for you. Luo Bingning shook her head. Cooking is my hobby. Doing what you love isn't tiring. But I don't like cleaning. Since we have the money, we can have the property management come and clean every other day. Lin Tian was somewhat surprised. The property management offers that service? Luo Bingning nodded. The property management has a professional cleaning team. They clean every other day for 10,000 yuan a month. Lin Tian clicked his tongue inwardly. So expensive. Before, his monthly income wasn't even half the cleaning fee. Then let the property management arrange it, Lin Tian said with a smile. He also disliked cleaning. Spending 10,000 yuan a month on professional tasks was out to the professionals. Lin Tian, why didn't you use your medical skills to make some money before? Luo Bingning asked. Somewhat puzzled. Lin Tian chuckled. I didn't before. Since getting married, I suddenly had an epiphany, which means you're a lucky charm for me, Bingning. Nonsense. Luo Bingning blushed slightly. Your enlightenment on the Gukan was also an epiphany? Lin Tian nodded seriously. Of course, it's that amazing. Luo Bingning rolled her eyes. What Lin Tian said was mostly true, but the more he said it, the less credible Luo Bingning felt. Zhao Shanggulan returned home. He owned a villa in S City, which, including renovations, cost him 120 million yuan, however. Since the renovations were completed, he hadn't lived in the villa much. Every time he stayed there, he encountered, well, you know. Master. Zhao Shanggulan approached, and two maids bowed and greeted him. They were quite frightened by him. His family members no longer lived there. Zhao Shanggulan nodded. He went upstairs to his room. The driver and bodyguards lived downstairs, and with the two maids, the villa wasn't exactly empty. Hopefully it works, Zhao Shanggulan muttered to himself. Based on past experience, if the talisman Lin Tian gave him didn't work, he would most likely encounter, well, you know. After tossing and turning in bed for an hour, Zhao Shanggulan finally fell asleep. When he woke up, it was already the next morning. Comfortable, Zhao Shanggulan stretched, feeling refreshed. Last night, I didn't have that heart palpitation I used to experience while sleeping. This was the most restful night's sleep I've had in years. Zhao Shanggulan was overjoyed. He figured his problem had most likely been solved by Lin Tian. So young, yet with such superb medical skills, drive. Lin is amazing. He quickly called Dean Shi, and from Dean Shi, Zhao Shanggulan got Lin Tian's WeChat ID and added him. Chairman Zhao, how was last night? Lin Tian sent Zhao Shanggulan a message after accepting the friend request. Dr. Lin, you're truly amazing. Last night was the most comfortable night's sleep I've had in years. The problem should be solved. That's good. Lin Tian replied with these three words and then ignored Zhao Shanggulan. Zhao Shanggulan felt a little uncomfortable. With his wealth, he usually received enthusiastic replies when he sent messages, unlike Lin Tian who was so sparing with words. A master is indeed a master, Zhao Shanggulan muttered to himself. Lin Tian didn't fawn over him, which only made him think more highly of him. In a few days we'll be able to confirm whether it's truly resolved. If it is, why not just give this villa to Dr. Lin? Zhao Shanggulan thought to himself. His family lived elsewhere, and he only visited this villa a few times a year. Giving it to Lin Tian was a good choice. Zhao Shanggulan knew that a doctor like Lin Tian could save lives, and without a significant favor, Lin Tian might not take care of him in the future. In Zhao Shanggulan's view, Lin Tian was still young and hadn't yet made his fortune. Giving him a villa now would have a completely different effect than giving it to him later. If I give this villa to Dr. Lin, perhaps a family member or friend who is seriously ill can ask him for help. Zhao Shanggulan had made up his mind. Once he was sure there were no problems, he would give the villa to Lin Tian. Lin Tian, however, was unaware that Zhao Shanggulan was being so generous. He had given him 5 million in consultation fees and was even thinking of giving him the villa. Grandpa Luo, how are you feeling? Lin Tian smiled and continued to insert acupuncture needles into Luo Yangqin. I feel great. I felt much better after yesterday's treatment, and I feel even better today. My limbs are also much stronger than yesterday. Luo Yangqin moved around and said with delight. Xiao Lin, could you come to the capital with me? Lin Tian asked doubtfully. Grandpa Luo, what are we going to the capital for? Bingning's parents are there, and they don't treat me well these days. He didn't really want to leave. What if he missed the treasure chest if he left Luo Bingning for the capital? Missing a treasure chest would be more painful than missing out on a fortune. Luo Yongqin pondered. I want you to see a respectable old man. He's over 90 years old, a veteran revolutionary. He, like me, has long suffered from injuries and illnesses. Lin Tian said, Grandpa Luo, this person you're talking about must be of high status. Right? Treatment is possible, but only discreetly. Such a person is probably a pillar of some powerful family, and powerful families often have equally powerful rivals. Even though he's now a martial arts grandmaster, he's still quite small. Xiao Lin, so you agree? Luo Yongqin's eyes lit up. Lin Tian nodded. You said the other party is an old revolutionary. I have no reason to refuse. Our predecessors shed their blood for the China we have today. I'll take you back in a few days. I'll have him examined then, but I can't guarantee it will be effective. After all, he's over 90 years old, and his bodily functions are severely aging. Even without illness, living to over 90 is no easy feat. Okay, Luo Yongqin nodded. 3 days passed in the blink of an eye. Luo Yongqin's physical condition had improved. He no longer needed acupuncture. Some medicine and moderate exercise were sufficient. Beep beep, Zhao Shonglin called. Lin Tian answered, puzzled. Chairman Zhao, has something changed again? Zhao Shonglin replied cheerfully, drive. Lin, no, I'm certain my illness has been completely cured by you. I've arrived at your neighborhood entrance to bring you a small gift.